And then let's go live on Instagram.
All I had was cereal.
Oh gosh.
Because I was rushing to my shoot. So
Yeah.
That's the grind right there.
Long day.
All right, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another session of the Kava podcast, After Dark session, where we discuss dating and relationships live out of San Francisco on this hot ass afternoon on a Saturday night. So thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. As you guys can see, we have a panel of beautiful ladies here tonight, and we have another great topic to discuss. As always, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. The best way to support the content is to smash that like and subscribe button real quick. And don't forget, a lot of you guys always ask me, how do I jump on the show on Saturday? If you're not from the Bay, you're not from Cali, the best way to jump on is become a supporting member of my locals. You'll be able to get the virtual link to access and jump on the last hour of the pod. You'll be able to jump on virtually through your phone like a Zoom call. So if you do guys want to jump on, if you want to be part of the conversation, become a supporting member of my locals. The link is in the description below on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Tim? Hey, good to see you, Tim. You're the first one to be on the live chat. Thank you so much for watching already. But let's get that live chat popping. Let me know what you guys think. We have a great discussion to talk about tonight. And of course, give a special shout out to my sponsor, Global Financial Impact. They're a financial services company. So if you're looking for financial services for life insurance, to set up a college fund for your kids, and to learn about financial literacy and independence to plan for your future, reach out to Savannah and her team, Global Financial Impact, and they'll be able to help you guys. And all their information is in the link below, in the description below on YouTube. So if you're watching this from different platforms, definitely come over to YouTube, and you'll be able to be part of the conversation as well. And I do want to encourage a lot of the guys out there, especially those who subscribe to my channel, and of course, a part of the live shows I do on Wednesday and Thursdays, especially the Mastermind. I do encourage you guys to become a supporting member of locals and have an opportunity to be able to have a conversation with the ladies. All right, I know a lot of you guys struggle with confidence, approaching women. I want to ask the ladies on here on this panel, what's the best way for a guy to learn how to not only approach but to talk to women?
You can just at least say, excuse me, hi, my name. I hate it when guys are like, oh, what's up? Oh, hey, can I get your number? First of all, I don't know your name.
Yeah.
That's rude as hell.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what's your name?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Instead of just, can I get your number? I'm not going to give my number to you, and I don't even know anything about you.
Okay. I mean, do you guys prefer guys to approach you guys, or do you guys prefer them to just send them a DM?
Approach.
Yeah.
Approach. I don't read my DMs. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Approach.
Definitely
Approach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, approach.
All right. So for the fellas out there, I know a lot of you guys are you like to talk to the screen. Definitely, I encourage you guys, especially if you come in a mastermind where we focus on building masculinity, self-improvement, and purpose. A lot of you guys always reach out to me. How do I build my confidence to talk to women? The only way you get better at talking to women is having a face-to-face conversation with women. If you're doing it behind a screen, hiding behind a screen, they'll definitely not be able to build your social skills to be able to have that conversation. So I encourage you guys, become a supporting member of locals, and you'll be able to jump on the last hour if you want to have the face-to-face conversation with the ladies. And Tim, yeah, exactly right. I see why you're approaching is the way. I do agree with you, Tim. But yes, that's pretty much all my YouTube stuff. Thank you so much. Let's get that live chat popping and do this. See, you guys are starting to watch. If you recognize the ladies, say hello in the live chat, show some support. But of course, if you have a specific question or topic, drop it through a super chat. We'll be able to respond to any specific question or topics that you guys may have, and we can respond to you guys. But nevertheless, that's pretty much all my YouTube stuff. Thank you so much. Shout out to you guys in the live chat, and shout out to the ladies one more time. Okay. We have a great show planned for you guys, and I do see Hustle. I don't know who that is.
It's my best friend.
That's your best friend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey.
From Egypt.
Oh, from Egypt. Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, what's up, Hustler? Good to see you. Thank you for being on the live show. But ladies, thank you for making the time. Let's have a great show tonight if you guys don't mind. A lot of new faces here. And also, Jules, thank you for coming back again, being part of the pod. If you guys don't mind, give yourself a quick intro for everybody out there. Go ahead.
My name is Sarah Beth. I am Nicaraguan and Irish. I'm 28. I am currently an operations associate at an organic baby clothing company. My status, like my dating
Yeah,
status,
dating status.
my dating status is my situationship just dumped me yesterday. So, that was already great status wise. And what I'm looking for,
In your next relationship.
yeah, I'm back at rock bottom. I don't know, man.
You just started from scratch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'll pass it to you. Go ahead and give yourself a quick intro.
I'm Lazelle de la Cruz. I'm Filipino. I'm 34, but 35 at the end of this month. I'm currently a life coach. My status is I'm not married. And what am I looking for? A ring.
Oh, looking for that ring. Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
All right.
Jules, good to have you back.
Hi. Well, you guys know me as Jules. My name is Jade. I'm Black. I'm 26. I'm about to have a birthday. I'm about to be 27.
Hey.
My job, I'm a security receptionist. Status, I'm seeing someone. And, he's not from out here. What do I look for? I just look for communication, respect, and, love and passion.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, ladies, thank you so much for the great intros. All right. Thank you so much for you guys watching so far. I appreciate you guys. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get that live chat popping and let me know what you guys think. And of course, don't be a ninja watcher. And a lot of you guys are creeping on the channel, watching, absolutely saying nothing on the live chat. So say something, participate. I do appreciate you guys. But we'll go right into it. The topic we're going to be discussing: should men and women prioritize relationships and marriage earlier or later? But before we go into the topic, let's have some Kava real quick for everybody.
All right.
Okay.
It actually looks good.
Yeah, I think something about the heat makes it look more smooth.
Because every time when I was here, I was like, has it been sitting there all day? I'm not sure.
No, I make it like right before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then there we go.
There we go.
All right. So right before we traditionally in my culture, right before we drink, we always raise our cups. And then we also offer some words of endearment towards each other. Okay. One of the words in endearment I want to pass on to you guys, something I just read the other day from Meditation by Marcus Aurelius. He said that the best revenge is to make sure that you become better than the person that harmed you. All right. So when it comes to dating and relationships, I know a lot of people get jaded. A lot of people have bad experiences. A lot of times, we just want to hurt other people or we do something out of bad intentions because of our past relationships. So I don't think that's the healthy way, even in relationships in life. So that's something I always think about. Somebody mistreated you, somebody did you wrong, somebody you just broke up yesterday, situationship. I think it's unhealthy to do things with bad intention. I think it's always good to be better than that, be stronger and better than the pain that you faced. And then also only good for you, but the people around you. But I think it's also good for society. So that was something I just want to offer you guys. Something I just read. Yeah, just the best success, the best revenge is just becoming better than the pain in the person that harmed you. I'll pass it to you.
That's a tough one to follow. That was good. I second all of those things. That is very real. I'm just excited to hear all of you guys talk and everyone's, experiences and perspectives. I feel like there's always something to learn. So I'm excited to learn from all of you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay. Pass it to you.
I guess I'll kind of piggyback off of what you said about, with relationships, you become jaded. I'm going to add, don't be sad that it's over. Be grateful that it happened because of the lessons you learn along the way.
All right. I agree. Thank you so much. And Jules, go ahead.
You just want to make sure you just take your time. Try not to rush into things because you will get your heart broken. You just try to get to know that person before you go any further.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Jules. And then just say, Alpha. Ofa
Alpha.
Atu.
Atu.
Atu. Ofa Atu, y'all.
Alpha.
All right. What do you think of the taste?
It's different. I've never had it, but it's not as earthy as you said it would be.
Yeah.
I was expecting, like you said, it would like taste like dirt or something. Like no, not at all.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but
It's actually good.
yeah.
Yeah. Kind of relaxes you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have like this really sweet kava at home, so I like
Yeah.
am appreciating
Yeah.
the like change of
Yeah.
flavor,
The flavor.
profile.
Yeah. That's
you
true.
know.
That's true.
So I do like just like the very natural.
The natural
Yeah.
one. Yeah. All right. Yeah, but as always, thank you so much. I see Lord Punisher on the live chat. Hey, what's up, Lord Punisher? And I do see Henrietta Kirks. Never seen you before. You guys recognize that name? No? Oh, shout out to you, Henrietta. Thank you so much. I know you're definitely Tongan because you wrote in Tongan. So thank you so Henrietta. Thank you so much for watching. But yeah, let me know what do you guys think. The main conversation, the topic. We have a good topic tonight. Always appreciate you guys watching the show. And if you guys watch my content, you guys already know the main objective of the show is just to figure out solutions for a lot of the things that men and women struggle today regarding relationships. I'm not a big believer in complaining what I see online. I do believe a lot of the solutions that we have to figure out with men and women, we have to have an open conversation, sit down, and I appreciate you guys for being part of the podcast, and we have a great show. But we'll go right into it. The topic we're going to be discussing. Let me play this TikTok video. We'll get to react to it as a panel. And if you're reacting if you're watching this live on the panel, definitely know what your reaction is, and let me know what you guys think on the live chat. So let me play the clip real quick. So I saw this lady talk about relationships on TikTok. So let me know what you guys think.
X, hitting the X, hitting the X, hitting the X. And I'm like, it has to get better. Like, it has to get better. Like, it's going to get better, right? 45 minutes later, nope, it's not getting better. But no, like, just 5 more minutes, there's going to be somebody. It's going to get better. And then it doesn't get any better. The pictures people post, like, I see the first photo and I'm like, okay. And then I scroll and I'm like, whoa, wait a second. That's not you. That is not the same person. Like, how did you, what? I also don't understand people using pictures that look like they were taken on a flip phone from like 1200 years ago. I'm like, what? Is that photo from your MySpace? Like, I don't understand.
All right. So, so that was just a clip. And there was a lot of conversation in the comment section from that clip. They were talking about how it gets harder to date as men and women get older. So there's a whole conversation about prioritizing relationships and dating. Should we prioritize our early, our 20s, or should we wait later when we get married, when we go into our 30s? And because there's a lot of content that's similar to her, they're making videos for both men and women are saying that when it's harder to date when you hit your 30s and 40s, especially if you're looking for something long term, especially if you're looking for marriage and children. It's hard out there in the streets, based on what I see. So that's the topic tonight. We want to break that down. I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? What's your reaction to that video? But also, what's your perspective when it comes to prioritizing relationships and marriage? And when I'm talking about relationships and marriage, we're talking about long-term healthy relationships, right? You guys all want long-term healthy relationships. Anybody here prefer toxic relationships?
No.
Okay, I thought you would say yes.
Yeah, I don't have time.
Maybe 10 years ago. But
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And all you guys, for your future, do you guys eventually want to get married one day?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you guys want marriage. You guys do agree that you guys want marriage long term and in long term committed healthy relationship. Should we prioritize that early as possible as we're building our life together, or should we wait later and delay it when we get older?
Anybody
Oh,
else?
go ahead.
Well, I'll start with you, Jules. What do you think, Jules? Go ahead.
Okay. I think you just need to let it play its course, just, let God lead the way for you, and that way you'll figure out what you want, and you'll, how would I say this? I'm trying to make it make sense. You just basically need to let it play its course and just let God lead you to the person that you need to be with,
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. Just have faith.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you think faith is enough?
That, and just also make sure you know what you want, make sure you have boundaries, of what shouldn't be crossed and what needs to be respected. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jules. I'll pass it to you. What do you think? Do you think we should prioritize relationships and marriage early, or as we're building our lives, or wait later till we get more established? What do you think?
I think it ultimately depends, because I'm looking at it from my own personal experience, where in my 20s, I was in a long-term relationship where I thought that was going to be the one. But now in my 30s, I just realized I wouldn't have been ready, regardless of if we had grown together or not, because I needed my own personal growing to do. So I felt like my 20s, I wish I had that time to fully grow and discover what I wanted and who I wanted, or what I wanted in a partner, but most importantly, how to be myself. Because I think I didn't have that in my earlier years. And I think, it depends, because each person grows differently. Each person's life journey is different. So, I wish I had that in my 20s, but my 30s, finding out who I am, being able to be alone and comfortable in my own skin, I think it opened up more doors in terms of getting to my person. So it just really depends. It's nice to say you would grow with someone. Like you say, you meet them in your 20s and you go through those stages of life of like, okay, we graduate college, we get into our business, like our careers, we settle down, we buy a house together. But ultimately, it's hard, because if you don't even know that that's what you wanted in your 20s, how are you going to say that's going to be a successful relationship long term?
Okay.
So, yeah, it really depends on where you are as a person, I would say.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I'll pass it to you. What do you think? Do you think that for men and women, if you're looking for long-term relationships and marriage, should we prioritize it early in our lives as we're building and growing, or later? What do you think?
I mean, a mix of what these two both just said. I have 3 older siblings, and I watched them all meet their partners really early in life. Like one of my brothers met his partner when, they did their first communion together. Like they've known each other since they were kids and started dating in high school, and they're in their mid-30s together, just had their first kid. And it's the same for my sister and my other brother. So I've had a completely opposite experience of that, where I just have been very much focused on just figuring out my own grounding in life. And this is also my first time that I have a career and a salaried job somewhere. So, and I don't know if those are things I would have achieved alone. And I think also a lot of times dating and relationships, we learn lessons from our partners, and that turns us into who we are and what we're going to be. So whatever failed relationships you have, that teaches you a lesson. So that's kind of my perspective on it. And if you find somebody to rock with at a young age, hold on to that. But that's not for everyone. And I can't say there's anyone that I met at a young age that I wish I didn't let go. I don't think I've met that person yet. And so it just takes time.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, ladies, for your opening thoughts. But I'll pass it to you guys. We all had a chance to to hear what everybody said. Does anybody want to add on to what somebody said, or respond to what somebody said? You guys are good?
Pretty much, yeah. I agree with what Sarah said.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think going through what I did in my 20s, I don't think, it would have worked out. If I had prioritized that relationship, I wouldn't be this version of myself, this happy, what I deem successful in my life. I wouldn't have all that if I was in that long-term relationship, hadn't gone 10 years down the line. So I think it's really a matter of being able to find yourself first before you can prioritize having a long-term relationship.
Okay.
I think the relationship that you prioritize first and foremost is kind of a relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
So.
I have a question I want to ask you guys. Why do you think it's harder? Do you guys have specific reasons based on what you guys see, not only online, but also your own personal observations on in your life? Why do you think it's harder to not only attract a person that's looking for long-term relationships and marriage, but it's also compatible with you, good morals. You want a person with good morals, good values, and that wants to be in a committed relationship. Why do you think it's harder to do it later on in your life and earlier? For women.
I'll let somebody else speak first.
There's a lot of internal healing we have to do.
Yeah.
You know, you have to
Mhm.
unpack and like unlearn things that we might have learned from our parents that we don't want to keep with us.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to like just like society, you know, like music, culture, like that has an impact on how people date. And you know, that's just starting to change, like the objectification of women in culture, you know, like that's just starting to really shift. And like we are having more men come that are like being thoughtful and like, you know, providing a platform to talk about this with other
Mhm.
men and like not be toxic, like some Andrew Tate shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so like that is like too easy to fall into. And it just, yeah, it's just, I think there's a lot of internal work that has to be done. And
Mhm.
before you can do that and like fully live in your truth and like be at the frequency you're meant to be at, which will also like pull in
Okay.
what you're like another person on that same
Okay.
same wavelength.
Mhm.
Did you want to add on, Jill, to say something?
I'll go last.
Okay. What about you?
Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what else I could add. I think going on with the healing work, but also as men and women being okay that maybe your partner is more successful in other parts of, you know, life, like career wise, like, you know, as a man, sometimes a woman might earn more, and that intimidates a lot of women or a lot of men, or, you know, a woman is independent, has supported herself, and that does, again, you know, intimidate, and vice versa. So just, I think healing and just being confident in who you are and knowing that I'm not perfect and that's okay. And just accepting that and knowing that, you know, I think.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
What about you, Jules?
I can you repeat that question?
Yeah. Why do you think it's harder for women to attract a good man, a man that wants a long-term relationship, is looking for marriage? Why do you think it's harder to attract him when they hit 30 compared to a 20?
I think it's because all the past toxic relationships that we went through in the past.
Yeah.
And, you know, I guess we're afraid. It's not the fact that it's hard. I think it's because we're guarded. We're
Yeah.
really trying to protect our emotions.
Yeah.
And like, we just don't want to get hurt again.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as we probably fall for somebody that's potentially, you know, the one, then they take us back to that place by doing the same things that we witnessed in the past.
Yeah.
So it makes it harder for us to trust.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I agree. Now I see you, gas mask in the live chat. Lord Punisher, good to see you guys. Let's get that live chat popping. Let me know what you guys think. I have a question I want to ask you guys. You guys all said that you guys want to be married. Do you guys want kids?
I do,
You want kids?
but only if my partner wants it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So if he wants kids,
Yeah.
and you do it for
Yeah.
him if you love him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want kids?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, no. Do you guys prefer masculine men who like to be the leader of the relationship, and also he loves the responsibility and duties in order to provide and protect his woman, to give them a good life and his kids? Do you guys prefer those types of men?
Masculine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like provider and protectors.
Mhm.
Men who just believe it's their honor for the mother of the children to make sure that he works to provide and protect her and the kids and to give them the best life possible.
Absolutely.
And he believes in his soul. That's his purpose in life. Like, he wants to do this. You don't have to, you don't have to encourage him or tell him to go get a job. He wants to go get a job because it's important for him to provide and protect for his family. Do you guys like those types of men?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
No. So, I do want to bring up a conversation because I do see it online. I think for women, you guys understand that there is a biological clock when you have a window of when you are able to have children, right? Usually the 20s is pretty much the most optimal time, but it is possible in the 30s, but it's not as optimal compared to when you're younger, right? So we all live in modern society. One of the things I do see, because I do want to hear your perspective, one of the things I do see online that they are encouraging women to pursue their goals and their dreams and start their business and accomplish degrees, which I don't really have a problem with. I do believe I do believe everybody should be able to pursue and make sure they can live the best life possible from both men and women, especially if you're single. So why would you want to stay broke, right? For both men and women, like you want to go out there and grind and work to work towards success to provide for yourself. But I do see this narrative online. I just want to ask you guys if you were influenced by it. But I do see this narrative. They tell women to sacrifice prioritizing any type of man or long-term committed relationships or dating, and just focus solely on your purpose, career, business, your accomplishments. And then when you hit 30, then try to find it later on in the 30. And I think a lot of women have that mentality to just dedicate themselves, focused on building their accomplishments of what they want to achieve, and delay it later. And they find themselves in their 30s, not being able to not only attract the men that you want. And also, that's why I asked that question earlier. If you guys like those types of men who want to provide and protect, usually those types of men who want to provide and protect and start families, they're looking for a partner that can have children. And I think for men, if he's in his 30s and he wants to attract a woman to build a family and a good family and build a legacy, I think for men, we understand that for a lot of women, it's harder to have kids with women in their 30s, especially as they get older. So men tend to date down to younger women because they know if I want to have a family, I know she's going to be able to have children with. But when you hit 30, it's going to be harder. So I think for me I think my pushback towards is I think women should be encouraged to do both.
Yeah.
I believe it's possible to do both. I think you can still pursue your career and dreams, but I think if a family and having children is something that's important for you long term, I think you can prioritize both. But I think what I do see online is they're telling men and women, especially for women, that you only have pick one or the other. And I think a lot of women, they sacrifice their majority of their 20s, and especially when the time they can have children, till later, and they have all the accomplishments, but then it's hard for them to have children later on. But also for a lot of the guys they're attracted to, especially men who want to take care of their family, they understand, like, okay, what's my best option I got? A woman that's the same age as me, especially if I'm 30, or should I go with a girl that's 5 years younger, and I know she can have children right now as soon as possible? What's your response to that?
Go ahead.
Sorry. It's just funny because when you were saying that, it totally spoke to me because, again, I think I'm the oldest one here. I'm in my 35,
Yeah.
Literally. And I did prioritize my career and in my 20s because I had to.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I worked in sports.
Yeah.
And you can imagine that's a male-dominated society.
Yeah.
So as a woman, I had to grind even harder to just get the opportunities that come easily for men. So as much as I wanted to prioritize both, I can't, because I would have stayed I wouldn't have advanced in my career because I had to grind twice as harder than my partner would have.
Yeah.
So there's really no option for women sometimes, as much as like we want to have both. And I wish we lived in the world that we could have both, but the reality is we don't.
Yeah.
We had to choose if we wanted a career, and you had to focus on that. It was like it took over 90% of your life.
Yeah.
So with that 10% is like you leave to your partner, but even then you have to leave some for yourself and your friends and family. So it's like, how are we even allowed to do that? So
can I give you a pushback on that?
Yeah.
Because I've had discussions with women who are very ambitious, very focused on their career. I think it is possible. I think sometimes when especially I understand your sentiment, because I'm very driven myself, and sometimes people who are very driven, we kind of think we don't have time because we're always busy, but we always have time. And I think I think we always have time if we're willing to make those sacrifices. But I do understand when you're very driven and solely focused on accomplishing something, we're very tunnel vision. But I think sometimes that's a product of society today, just telling you that in order to be successful, you have to do this. You have to be super focused, and you can't prioritize a family. But I think there are great examples of a lot of women who are very successful. I have a good friend of mine. His wife is very successful, has a degree, has very accomplished. But I think she was able to make time because she realized, I think when she was getting closer to her 30s, she realized, like, you know what, I do want to be successful, but at the same time, she does want to have a family as well. And she started to kind of opening some time in her schedule to find and to dedicate herself to not only having conversations, but also to date, but also to attract the partner they want. I think sometimes I think we get caught up with that. I think a lot of women think they don't have time, but I think we always have time, but we have to make the time.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair point. But also I think it would help to have just a little more support.
Yeah.
I guess. And also like the support would have to come through, like either supportive, in the career space where like, okay, you can take the day off to have a date with your, find your person or your husband or whoever, make time to have babies, like if you're very career driven. So a lot of that is fair, like, prioritizing it, but also having the support, like having that, like not feel guilty about taking time for yourself or your partner. So it just, a lot of factors has to come into play.
Okay.
So that's how I see, like, as from experience.
Did you want to add on?
Yeah. Well, for one, I think that with the way science is changing and just like, like our lifetimes are a lot longer than they used to be.
Yeah.
So, like being 20, like I see a lot of girls saying like, if I got pregnant, like they're 28 and they'd be like, if I had a baby right now, I would be a teen mom. Like, and there's a lot of girls right now that are my age that are like, I'm just a 28-year-old 16 girl.
Yeah.
Like, and people are like, the 30s is the new 20s. And I also know, and I've seen it, I've had 2 siblings have very healthy babies in their mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I do get there is a biological clock, but Kourtney Kardashian just had a baby at 45?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many ways to take care of your body that we didn't have before.
Yeah.
So I don't think time is as like, doesn't matter as much as it was the like accessibility.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's important. And then also like, there's a lot of different content online that's being pushed out. Like, like there's trad wife content. And I don't want to categorize Nara Smith as like a trad wife, but she posts that type of content, but she's allowed this space to create. And I mean, she's a model, like it is different than like for regular people, but it is definitely something that I think is essential, is that having a partner that you guys are able to create space for each other.
Okay. Jules, you want to add on?
Yeah. Referring to what you said. So what she said, I think it's nothing wrong with, having a baby later on, as people are 50 having a baby. And they also look great for their age. Things have changed a lot. It really depends on the person. Some people might want to have it early. Some people might want to have it later. So, I mean, really doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah. No, I do agree. There are, there are examples of people having babies later. Like you brought up Kourtney. Was it Kourtney or Kourtney Kardashian? I know I have seen people who are having babies in their 40s or some in their 50s. But if we're talking about the average, right? There's always like the extreme, like the outlier. Like it's not often a lot of women have babies in their 40s and 50s. Even if they do have, one of the main reasons why they encourage women to have babies earlier because of the risk. It's harder, especially when it comes to your health.
Oh yeah.
It's very risky to have a baby in your 40s, especially in your 50s. So it's better for you as a woman to have kids when you're younger.
Yeah.
So, and also when you do bring up Kourtney Kardashian, I don't think that's a great example for all women because they're rich.
Yeah, well, my aunt, who's not rich, she had a baby in her mid 40s.
What age? Mid 40s?
She also has like an online platform. I don't know if she wants me talking about her age. I just realized that, and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to. But she's gonna watch this. Like,
I agree.
Like, hey, don't tell people how old I am.
No, what I'm saying is,
she had a baby, very healthy naturally, without anything. She's just a healthy person, and
no, she just got great genetics. That's what
I have great genetics.
There's women. I think certain cultures of women are very fertile, all the way to 30s and 40s. But that's always like the outlier. It's hard. It's not often you find women who can still have a healthy baby and doesn't affect their health in their 40s and 50s.
My mom had me at 39, so I'm banking on that. That I get those.
Also, you got those genes, so you got those fertile genes.
And I mean, nowadays women can freeze their eggs, so it's not.
See, but that's my response to her. Like that if people can freeze their eggs, usually because freezing their eggs is very expensive. It costs about what 30,000, something like
Jesus.
tens
I
of
haven't
thousands.
looked into it, but
Yeah,
sure.
it does cost a lot of money to freeze their eggs. So like for the average woman, they don't have tens of thousands of dollars to freeze their eggs. So what's the best opportunity for them to have children is to have it for free when they're young.
Mhm.
So you don't have to pay tens of thousands of dollars when you're older.
Can I add just one thing
Yeah.
just to push back? I think a bigger problem that I've seen than women in their ability to conceive, because I think that's just something that's played up in media,
Yeah.
but something that is happening now that I don't think people are talking about as much is that men and their sperm count just is also not as good.
Of course.
Like
Yeah.
like I've seen, I guess there were studies that came out on vaping
Uh-huh.
affecting sperm count. And there's a lot
Oh,
of things, microplastics,
Yeah.
just environmental factors that are also affecting men's ability to partake in conception.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I do agree. So, but yeah, so I wanted to respond to you. So you said that you always had the mentality of you want to be really successful. I know you had a very dedicated. You dedicate yourself to your career. Did you always have that mentality, or like where did that come from? Did that come from your
Yeah.
parents encouraging you that, or was that a byproduct of the society that we live in today?
I think it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of
I
both.
think it's both because especially the industry that I had chosen, again,
Yeah.
being sports is very, very male dominated. And
Mhm.
so I, and I've always been an overachiever. I pride myself in that as
Okay.
red flag or toxic.
Yeah.
I'm a very overachiever. That makes me happy when I achieve a goal. And so, yeah, I think it's both. It's a factor of both. I'm obviously Filipino, I'm Asian, and there's that stereotype that Asian children just, if you don't get an A, everything else is an F. So,
Okay.
Tiger moms.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I have that mindset.
Okay. Does anybody here on this panel want to be a stay-at-home supporting wife? That you just want to attract a man that wants to provide for his family, and you just want to support him and his purpose, and just take care of the children. Does anybody want to do that? Like he provides all the financial stability. He's gonna give you a good life. He just wants you. You know what, baby? Just take care of my children, support me, and we'll build this relationship. I'll make sure you're taken care of.
I'll take one for the team. I'll say yes. Honestly,
Yes.
For the right one, for the
Yes.
right one in the right
Yeah,
situation.
yes.
I'll be a Nora Smith for sure.
Yeah.
as long as I can keep my side business, my coaching business, then I'll
Yeah.
do it. But I don't. As long as I don't have to do corporate work.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't
I'm
mind.
tired. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I did my
He doesn't
job.
mind you having a side business. He just like as long as you can take care of my kids, but I'll make sure I'll go out there and provide for you.
I just want to
Honestly,
make
yes.
art.
Yeah,
like if I
exactly.
Right.
see the space, like I know I'm a homebody anyways. I know I'm gonna I have great genetics. I'm made to birth some kids. Like and I have a very good looking family, so I know
That's some good
I'm
genes.
gonna have D1 babies. Like I just
Yeah.
know that for a
Yeah.
fact. Like my siblings already have started to their babies are in the 99th percentile, and that's what I expect on my
Okay.
end. So
Jules?
As long as I accomplished everything in my life, I can settle down and be a stay-at-home mom,
Be a stay-at-home mom?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be in my creative space at home and,
Yeah.
take care of the kids at the same time.
Take care of the kids at the same time?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, so do you think so this is a great conversation. So I think there's a lot of our nature as both men and women, a lot of the things, especially when it comes to masculinity and femininity, it comes from things that's natural to us, right? So I believe naturally for women, it's natural for you to raise children. Can we all agree with that?
Mhm.
Like, you guys can do that better than us. Like,
Mhm.
right. So you guys have the natural, you're more compassionate, that nurturing nature is, when you become a mom, they just want to, you know how to raise children a lot better. So I think for men and women, we're optimized to play different roles. So I think it's natural for women to, when you finally come across in a relationship and when you want to have children, I think it's natural for women, you know what, I just want to step back from the workforce because my motherly instincts right now is kicking in, the hormones are kicking in, my nurturing nature is kicking in right now, and I just want to raise my babies, all right? And that's not only socially, but also it's proven scientifically that there are certain hormones that's released when you have children that allows you to stick to that baby and the baby as well, right?
Mhm.
And then, and I think it's natural for men to want to go out there and be provider protectors because we know, if my woman is pregnant and she's having children, I need to go out there and provide for her and take care of her. I think there's certain natures within that that's natural. But I think also I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? I think that I don't have a problem with women pursuing the career and their purpose and their goals and dreams, but I think there's a lot of women who naturally want to be mothers and they naturally want to take care of their children. But I think society has kind of influenced or conditioned them that, you know what, motherhood should be put to the side, go focus on your career. And they finally focus. So they do that because they're just listening to what everybody else is doing, and especially what they see on social media. And then they try to pursue their goals and dreams. They try the ambitions, and then maybe a couple of years later, when they get older, they realize, you know what, this is not really becoming something that I really thought it would be. And I actually, you know what, I actually would just prefer just to be a stay-at-home mom and just want to have a good man that takes care of me. And they realize later on, but then by that time, it's already that 30 stage or that 40 stage, and it's hard to kind of go to reverse time and go back. But do you guys think that most women I do agree there are women out there who just want to be successful and they just want to go out there and hustle, and then they already accepted the accountability that maybe they're not going to have children, not going to have a family, and they already made peace with that, and that's okay. But I think there's a lot of women that naturally want to be mothers and they naturally want to raise children. But, I think sometimes we kind of just flow what society goes. And I think a lot of women are seeing online or what they see in society with telling women to go out there, get degrees, make money, and start a business. So they just do what everybody else is doing. And because that's what they're telling women, especially the content and what they see online. And then they realize later, you know what, if I had a choice, I'm just tired of waking up every single day, work, dealing with men, dealing with the deadlines, dealing with my bosses. I just want to be with my man, and he can just go out there and work and I want to be in my soft girl era. I want to be my feminine. A lot of women are saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with the stresses at work. I'd rather my man to take that stress from me, and I could just be in my softness and my femininity and just take care of my children. So do you think most women, I would say that I think there's a small minority of women who want to be successful and they're willing to sacrifice their kids and their relationship for it. But I think most women, because I've been doing this podcast for a while, I've had most women who I talk to, especially the women who were very, very driven, very ambitious, and had a career. Later on in their life, they realize, you know what, even I pursued my career, but I realized it didn't bring me the fulfillment and happiness I thought it would give me. I actually find more fulfillment and happiness having children and being in a loving relationship with a man that respects me and commits me and trusts me. What do you guys think? What do you guys respond to that?
Well, I came across women that did both.
Yeah.
They were ambitious and they took care of their kids.
Yeah.
They even had their kids with them.
Yeah.
I definitely respect women like that. And, you also have some women that want to stay at home, let the man take the responsibility. So it's like a mixture there, For me, would I do that? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
But then I will eventually want to stay home later.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Oh, you guys, you want to add on to that?
No, I mean, I think I pretty much said it. Like, I think my whole 20s was my grinding era. And now I'm just like, I would love to be a stay-at-home wife, mom.
Be in the soft girl era?
Yeah. And adding to what we were talking about earlier, like, being my soft girl era and not being stressed would make me more fertile.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, so you can have it all.
Yeah, you have it all. Okay. I see Mr. Damons. Hey, what's up, Mr. Damons, on the live show? Owens, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you guys think on the live chat. I see you guys watching on the other platforms. I definitely would appreciate you guys being on the live chat. But you guys, I know you mentioned that, all you guys mentioned that you guys, if you had the opportunity, you would do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I do notice, one of the biggest criticisms a lot of men have is, in order to be good at something, you have to be able to practice it. Can we all agree with that? Like, if you wanted to learn, can we agree that in order to be a great mother and to be a great spouse to support your husband, you have to have certain skills in order to be good at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a certain type of mentality, right? I think the biggest criticism a lot of guys are saying is, even if the women who say they were influenced by society and they focus on their career and their accomplishments, and then later on they want to be a stay-at-home mom and they want to be a wife, they say it because you've been living your life your whole way being independent. You've been living your whole life in a way to only for yourself. It's really hard for them to adjust to a role where it's more focused on the family and children, and also following and submitting to a man with good leadership skills that he's going to lead the family, because you've been living your whole life making decisions for yourself. Because that's the feedback I get from a lot of guys, and sometimes I do see content online. I don't know if you guys seen it, that if you come across a woman that's older, 30 or 40, a lot of guys will say that it's a red flag because it's going to be really hard for them to adjust from a life they're just focusing on themselves. But now they have to adjust, especially if you're talking about you want a masculine man, right? You want a man that's going to take and provide for you. A lot of that requires you to be able to trust his leadership, to follow his leadership, to submit to him, and be able to be ready for the responsibility of raising children, dedicating yourself to raising children and supporting him as a husband. A lot of the men are saying, because you haven't lived your life that way, it's hard for women to make that transition from working on yourself and being successful to being a good spouse and supporting and loving and trusting your husband's leadership and raising children. That's why a lot of guys are saying women who typically want that, usually they grew up that way in that family and they just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. What's your response to that? Because that's what I hear from the men's side. I want to hear what the women have to say.
Sorry, I'm so used to raising my hand. I finished college like 6 months ago, so I'm just like raising my hand all the time. Anthropologically, yeah, men are supposed to be the providers, right? Women are the child. Like that's just how we've evolved as a species. But on a sociocultural level, 100 years ago, we functioned on a more collectivistic level, whereas now everyone's being pushed to be more individualistic. So it's about taking care of yourself. And if you're a woman and you depend on a man, it can be scary because sometimes men are out here doing heinous shit sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
I like
that's true.
a point that you made at the beginning is that having that mindset of like all men are bad is pushing a good partner farther away from us. And so when we like reaffirm that takes away more chances of us finding somebody that's not going to like treat us like that. And so I think it is like really just like important to consider those social factors that are happening around us, as well as there's something else there that I was going to say, but I kind of lost it. So
I want to pass it to Jules because I saw your facial expression. What's your response to that?
That submitting part.
The submitting part.
Yeah.
Not
I have a problem with that.
Why?
Yeah, the submitting part to me, it just sounds very controlling.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. And there's a lot of men out there that are very controlling. Like they may seem like they're the one for you. They may seem charming or whatever, but then they turn out to be very narcissistic, very controlling. And they basically want you to follow their lead instead of just, supporting you and doing your own thing. I think in a relationship, it needs to be compromises. We need to support one another. I shouldn't have to support you all the time and not have any for myself.
Okay. No, I agree. There are men who are controlling, right? But we can all agree that there are good leadership skills, but there's also bad leadership skills. Could we agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever I hear women say, that's why you brought up a great point. We can't put the umbrella on all men, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever a woman tells me, oh, that man is very controlling, that shows I already know up front that man did not know how to lead. Because good leaders always take the opinions and perspective of the people that's very close to them. And the men that I see in my life that are good leaders, they always value the opinion and perspective of their wife. There's a good analogy, right? The man is the head and the woman is the neck. That's the analogy that a lot of women would use, especially the women who are with men who submit, because even though the man is the head, he makes the decision, but she guides him because she has the ability to talk to him, right? And all the guys in my life who are masculine leaders and provider protectors, they value their wife. They give their insight. If they're going to make a decision, they always, because you are in a relationship, it's not about what I want to do. I have to make the decision best for me and my wife and my family. So you have to get the input of your wife. So what I'm saying is, you don't want the man that can't lead. You don't want the man that's toxic. But you want a man that values you as much as you, as he values his leadership. But like I said, I think what the problem with today, and I don't know if you guys can let me know what you guys think. I think women tend to submit by default instead of making the man earn her submission. Just because a man you're dating somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you automatically submit to him. I think that's what's happening for a lot of dating today with the casual relationships. A man has to earn your submission. to prove to you that
Oh yeah.
he can lead, and to prove to you that he's very decisive. He can make good decisions. That he's going to lead you somewhere that's going to be a good future for you. But if the man can't lead, is making bad decisions,
Oh my
and he can't show you guys going to go somewhere safe, because that's what women are looking for. You guys are looking for safety. You want to feel safe in your relationship.
Right. Protection.
And if it's indecisive, if it's making bad decisions, if it doesn't have good leadership skills, you're going to feel unsafe because you don't know where you're going. And that can cause a rift between you and also in your ability to trust them. But if you find a man that's competent, you find a man that loves you, but you find a man also that's a good leader, he values your opinion, gets your input, you guys have good discussions, you guys discuss things, you guys communicate, but he's also very clear like where he wants to go. I think a lot of women, when you come across that type of man, you can trust him a lot more because he's proven to you that he has your best interests and he wants to lead you guys to something with a good quality future. And I don't think women will have a problem submitting and trusting that type of man.
Oh yeah.
Can we agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you when you said that last part about, earning, their submission or earning a leadership, I think you said. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question? Have you guys had previous relationships where you just automatically just submitted without him proving to you that he was a good, competent leader? Have you guys had that before?
Like just automatically without feedback?
You just let him lead. You just let him lead the relationship, but he hasn't proven to you that he could lead.
Yeah, I did that when I was younger.
Yeah, when you were younger.
Uh-huh.
No.
No.
What about you?
I haven't been in a relationship in 5 years. I'm 28. So that's
okay.
for one, when I was the last relationship I was in, I don't know how to drive. So it's I'm a passenger princess.
Okay.
Metaphorically and physically in life at times. And I just think I am someone that just goes with the flow, but I also trust my intuition. So I'm not letting anyone guide me into the wrong place.
Yeah.
And so I'm very hesitant to just let anybody show me what to do. And I've had long-term situationships since my last relationship, but I wouldn't say in those situations we were at a point where it's I fully have
you submit and
submitted.
surrender.
And I'm sorry, I was just cracking up just now a little bit because there's these memes online and there's submissive and breedable.
Yeah.
It's just a joke me and my friends would always make. And then the infertile and feral.
Oh, okay.
Another thing we would say.
Yeah.
I just had to say that. I'm sorry.
I mean, have you guys in your past relationships, have you guys been in a relationship where the man showed good leadership qualities for you in the relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them,
Mhm.
and then
it was all fake.
yeah, so they're fake. Yeah,
Mhm.
so they're just putting up a facade, right?
Yeah,
pretending to they're
Uh-huh.
leading.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So for me, because you guys want to be submissive to your husband, if you found a man that you could trust, and I think when I say the word submissive, I think it depends on the definition. And I know that can be a very triggering word for a lot of women.
My mind is going somewhere else.
I know, I'm
Right.
God.
So my definition of submission is, I think it's natural for you because I think it's natural for women to submit because I think it's part of your femininity, just to follow a man, right, and be in your soft girl era. But I think a lot of times because men are not raised that way. And I think a lot of times you don't require, that's not a requirement when it comes to dating. You just date, but not requiring that man to lead. But is that something that you guys, when you guys been in your past relationships, did you guys realize that, did you have that conversation with him to require him to be a good leader, or that conversation never happened?
I have.
Yeah?
I've had that conversation. Yeah.
What happened?
It just, I guess, didn't lead the way that I wanted to be led.
Yeah.
I think you can tell my personality. I'm very direct. I'm a leader myself. But I need somebody a stronger personality. Yeah. And it's not his fault. It's just who he is. And that's how, and I can't change
he has to have a more dominant personality
than you. Yeah.
In order to be
he
the
tried.
leader.
I'll give him credit. He tried. But it wasn't just, it just wasn't a match. And
yeah, that's a good point because if the man is going to be the leader, he he has to have a certain dominant personality because
Mhm.
like assertiveness, confidence, decisiveness, right? He's not wishy-washy. He's not
Oh,
doubtful.
yeah.
He's not fearful. Usually guys are very great leaders. They have very strong qualities about themselves, especially their personality.
Yeah.
Have you guys dated guys in the past where you guys just ran all over? You were the leader and you realized, you know what? I'm leading this relationship. Like I'm overrunning him, influencing him, telling him what to do.
I don't like doing that.
You don't mind doing that?
I said I don't like doing
You don't
it.
like doing that, right?
I don't like doing that at all. Like I
Okay.
shouldn't have to tell a grown man what to do.
Yeah.
Like you should already know what to do.
Yeah.
You should know how to lead. You should just know, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like guys who are weak-minded,
Yeah.
who it's just, you know, how would I say it? Just on and off,
On and off. Yeah.
you know, just in and out all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Indecisive.
yeah, exactly. I need a guy who knows what they want, who knows what kind of woman they have, and, you know, who's going to respect me, and I'm going to do the same in return.
Stand for nothing, fall for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you been in a relationship in the past with a guy that you were the stronger personality, the more dominant one, and you were kind of leading him instead of him leading you?
I've been in a lot of relationships where I've let that take the back seat because I am naturally a stronger personality and
Yeah.
naturally people charismatic and like people gravitate towards me. But I have been in relationships where I'll like deactivate my Instagram and just like go all into life with this person.
Yeah.
And that is not what I should be doing, I find. So like I know like for me that like I look to my like social circles. In my social circles, like I run with a bunch of like artists, like skaters, musicians. So it's like the type of people that I'm around also like all have like a go-getter mindset already. Like I don't really like, I also stopped using dating apps entirely just because
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
this isn't working for me. I mean, I'm on Raya, but I can't delete my Raya unless I have an engagement ring. So that's my
Okay.
Dating apps are dangerous.
They are literally dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Literally.
I would
It
never.
feels like a game, honestly. I don't
It-
think anybody takes it seriously,
There's-
men or women.
There's a class action lawsuit against dating apps because they use gambling techniques that they put in gambling games to make you addicted to it. Look it up. You can get like probably like
That's true.
if you sign up, you can get like
Absolutely.
$50.
I
from,
think
like,
Bumble, right?
Yeah.
Well, my question I want to ask you guys, and this is more for the ladies that's watching this right now. So thank you so much for watching so far. So you guys all mentioned that you guys wanted, you want a strong masculine man who can lead you. You don't want weak men, especially men who are weak men who have a very weak mentality.
Oh my God.
Because those aren't men.
Definitely not.
You don't want-
Mentally, they're not.
God.
Yeah.
Annoying.
You don't.
Yeah,
you,
physically maybe.
Yeah.
Age, but
you don't want men with yeah. You don't want those types of men, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you guys, how do you recognize those types of men? Right? Because I do agree with you. You said something that was very profound to me. You said that a man should just know, right?
Mhm.
The thing is, leadership is not something you're born with. It's something that you have to build.
Yeah.
And traditionally, back in the past, where men were still men, this is something that we were taught early when our fathers were still around in our life, right? So if you have a strong network of men in your life, if you have a strong father in your life, luckily for me, I was very blessed. My father was, my mom and dad still married together, never been divorced, never been separated. My dad truly loves my mom, but he raised me like this is what a man should do.
Mhm.
You know, men are not weak. You know, men don't make excuses. We take responsibility for the decisions we make, especially when it comes to family
And I feel like that's what men lack nowadays:
Yeah.
accountability.
accountability.
oh yeah.
And some women too.
Yeah.
And but men, they lack accountability. They love to play the victim.
No, I agree. So my question to you is, if strong masculine men that can with good leadership skills is something that you guys want, how do you recognize that? If you and also another question is, do you guys have examples in your life that you guys can see? This is what a strong masculine man looks like, so that way you can use that example to apply for your own life, so you can recognize what that type of man is, so you can compare it to the person that shows you that example.
I don't do comparisons. You know, I just think how do I say?
But do you have that in your life? Like, do you have somebody that embodies what a good man, good father, good husband, what strong masculine leadership is?
I got somebody, my brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law,
My
okay.
brother-in-law, he's definitely a great leader, great father, great husband,
Yeah.
great brother-in-law, gives me advice, protects whenever he needs to. That's the kind of guy that I want in my life.
Yeah.
He's not judgmental. He's not, criticizing anybody.
Yeah.
He's very encouraging.
Okay. So you said that's your
My brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law. What about you? Is that anybody in your life that embodies that?
I think I won the jackpot with that because I have my grandpa, my dad, and my brother.
Okay, so grandpa, dad, and your brother.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I have two brothers that are like very strong, successful men that have always looked after me because they're 10 and 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
And my dad as well. He struggled with alcoholism when I was a kid. But I was a kid, I didn't see that. Whereas my siblings, like, they interacted with that more as they came of age. But for me, my dad, like, on Valentine's Day when I was like 12, he took me to go see the Hannah Montana movie and like a nice dinner, things like that. Like, he really stepped up to be there for me once he got sober, and especially when my parents divorced. So it's like I've had strong and like healthy, even though my parents weren't, I've had other strong and like really healthy relationships and like men that are, I would say, more balanced with their like sense of masculine and femininity. Because I think there's also a level of like being able to, have your yin and yang internally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys, so you guys have examples of those types of men. So for the next man that comes into your life, how are you going to be able to recognize that man is going to be a great leader and he's going to be the good man, just like the men you just provided as an example?
You have to be observant, of their personality, the way they move.
Give me like one that's very specific.
Just the advice that they give you, just the things that they say.
No, wait, I'm talking about the next guy you're dating. Is that who you're talking about?
Or the next guy that I need to date, or
yeah. So the next guy that's gonna come into, well, you're in a relationship, right? You're talking to somebody. You see somebody. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, for a lot of women, they want that. They want that leadership quality, masculine type of man, right? So, as women, how are you going to be able to recognize that type of man, so you can vet out the guys who are just playing a facade and pretending to be a good man so they can get what they want out of you? How are you going to distinguish that?
I think for me, it's their level of compassion and empathy. I think because those are like values you can't.
Compassion and empathy.
Empathy. Just being able to be kind, like naturally kind and naturally just, vulnerable and providing that space for me, because that's just raw and genuine values. It's not really something.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
I think that can be faked. How many times you guys been across men who just want to be kind with you, compassionate and good to you just because they want to get what they want out of you?
Actually, not a lot. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
In my experience, not a lot.
Do you think it's easy to fake do you think for a lot of guys, especially if they only want sex out of you, do you think a lot of guys would just be kind, compassionate, and good for you to get sex and they leave?
Oh yeah.
So how are you gonna distinguish the guys who are just playing that facade? They're only kind and compassionate to you because they only want to get something out of you and then leave you.
So this is like when we first meet, not like when
you're dating multiple times, just going on 2 or 3 dates. Of course he's gonna be kind. Of course we're all kind in the beginning. like we're all kind. That's common sense, right? We're not gonna be assholes in the first 2 or 3 dates. So usually everybody, I think for both men and women, we're always gonna put our best foot forward as far as behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, how are we gonna know that this is something that's real or this is just a facade that they're playing? Especially when you understand today's dating world. Like there's a lot of guys out there just gonna waste your time.
I think I can tell if they're trying to like rush into things too fast.
Yeah.
And just trying to rush into basically being with you, getting what they want out of you, and then the communication stops.
Yeah.
I think that's how you can tell.
Okay. Yeah.
At that time I couldn't because I was a little bit naive back then.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, okay, I'm paying close attention. There's no text messages from him. Less calls, less messages, less communication.
So he's playing the long game instead of being rushing things, but he's very patient. Is that what you're saying? Very patient. He's like taking it slow.
No. So let's just say, you get to know somebody and they're basically trying to rush into basically into a relationship, so-called.
Yeah.
And then once he gets what he wants out of you, like sex and all that stuff, then the communication disappears. And then he goes, that means that he's probably seeing other people.
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
In, his court.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if a guy's rushing things, especially if it's leading to something sexual, that's a red flag, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's very
patient,
and
if he wants to get to know you,
and then
continue on this communication,
yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a potential relationship.
I still push back to that one as well, because I know a lot of guys who play the very slow game. They'll just be very patient. They're just gonna wait until you give it up. So how do you distinguish those guys?
Oh man,
I guess if their actions match their word, right? If their like actions speak louder than words.
You're getting close. I have something. I have something to provide for you. But I just want to see if you guys can figure that out on your own.
This is a trick question.
He has an answer.
I know. I'm confused. I'm actually really confused.
But can we all agree there's guys that play the slow game, right?
Yeah.
I got you.
You got
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Have you guys been with those types of guys that play the slow game, and when you found out later it was all facade?
Yeah. When I saw with another woman.
There are guys who will literally play that slow game for years. And be in your friend zone for years.
Those loyal story likers, man. Those loyal story likers.
So to be careful with the slow game. There's something that's indicate, because I know there are guys out there. I know for a fact that they're just waiting in their friend zone for like 5 to 10 years, and then once they get their shot, they'll take their opportunity.
That's crazy.
But that's just reality.
Yeah.
All right.
10 years.
No. I mean, do you guys have? I promise you, there's a guy right now in your friend zone that's just waiting for you, but you don't find him attractive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
think so.
Come on.
I genuinely don't think so.
Okay. Do you have a friend right now that's single, heterosexual? You're very close with them. You guys tend to spend a lot of time together. You guys have a very open communication relationship, but you don't find him sexually attractive.
Yes.
That's him.
Oh,
Okay.
poor guy.
Yeah. That's Jules.
I have a couple, but
Yeah.
But like, what if it's like a brother-sister
Yeah.
relationship? That's what I like. Honestly,
That's
like
sick.
all of my guy friends are like brothers to me because I grew up with brothers, so that's all I know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's like, I think men and women can be friends platonically without having to play that long waiting game.
Yeah.
I think I do agree. I think we can be friends, but I don't think
With boundaries.
No.
Like, I'm not gonna.
You can be friends, but you guys can't do things that you would typically do with somebody you're in a relationship with.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
That's the boundaries.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to those male friends, you guys tend to talk to that person and reveal things that you would naturally do with your partner.
No.
And I
See,
think
that's a boundary that like I would not, because I was in a relationship and I still had like guy friends.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would save the conversations that are very personal just for my person.
Yeah.
And not the guys. Like if I won't tell my brother,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I won't tell the guy friends. Is basically.
I understand your brother, but I'm talking about the
But
brother.
that's how I see the guy friends.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that boundary.
Yeah, but I doubt he sees you that same way. I doubt you see him as a brother, but he sees like,
So sad.
yeah, no, it's reality. I promise you, if you probably told him like you would date him, I promise you, probably 99% of the chance he will say yes.
I mean, as far as like having guy friends, as long as we never dated before and never dealt with each other before, then we can still be friends. But if we have before, and then you're with somebody else, that's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
So I don't want to deal with you no more.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I like have a previous partner and we're just like good friends. We are emotionally supportive of each other. We only like dated very briefly.
Yeah.
But we just like didn't work for us. But like we can always like go to each other to like talk about like whatever's going on in our relationships, just because we have that perspective of one another of like what we're like to deal with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I actually do think I've actually like in the past become friends with my ex's new girlfriends because they've like reached out to me over like things. Like actually like the one serious relationship I was in, the girl he dated after me broke up with him because of how he treated me. She was like, I clocked it. Like he said something else, but when we talked, like I like realized that. And I think there's a level of like having a healthy connection with an ex and like having a like toxic connection, like you're still sleeping with them. Like the person that I was just referencing, like we haven't slept with each other since we broke up. Like, you know, and that was years ago and we're just friends. And we have like boundaries, like we have times where we don't talk for a while and times where we are talking a lot. And it's just like we're very respectful of one another on that.
That's part of growth.
Yeah. And I'm also not a jealous person.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know, like in the future, like I might want to explore like an ethically non-monogamous relationship, but I can't say I would do that unless I have a partner that like I trust. And I think if I'm like with a partner that I really trust and love, I probably wouldn't want to.
Yeah, when I say friend, I believe it is possible for men and women to be platonic friends, but I think for me, as long as you guys are not typically doing things that you guys would naturally do in a relationship. So like I understand we all have guy friends, but if you guys spending time together, if you guys taking vacation trips together, if you guys having lunch or dinner together, if you guys text each other every day, every other day, those sometimes are usually things you would do with your significant other. But if because you're single and he's single, you guys are having that. I think naturally when you do that with somebody's gonna catch feelings. Somebody is naturally gonna catch feelings. So whether it's the female or the male, but I know for a lot of guys, they understand that especially if they are friend zoned, I think they realize, oh, I really want to be with this girl, but she doesn't find me attractive and she doesn't see me that way. But I'm just gonna play the long game and hopefully, I have an opportunity later, because guys will wait and be in that friend zone, but just be careful.
Nah, for me, if I had feelings for somebody and they talking about they wanted to be friends, I cut it off.
Yeah.
So good luck waiting, because I'm done.
Because men naturally pursue and give time to the woman he wants to be with. So if he's, that's why I say, if he's heterosexual, if he's single, and he's making time for you or making time to help you, whatever you need him to do, that's sometimes for me, it's our nature to do that for the woman we want to be with. So if he's doing that with you, but you don't find him attractive, I would highly believe that he probably has feelings for you, but he doesn't have the confidence to come up and tell you directly, because I think he either knows that you're going to reject him or he just doesn't want to face that rejection or that reality. So just be careful with the friend zone guys. No, but just go back to the topic about the recognizing the leaders. I know you guys all brought up examples, but I think we had a lot of that can be faked. I do want to give you a great example of how you can see that a man has good qualities, especially when it comes to leading. And this is something that I'm gonna give a shout out to Damon. If you're watching this right now, Damon, we do this on the Mastermind. We talk about leadership skills, but one of the best things you guys can see, whether you can notice that this man is a good leader, if he's already leading his own life. I think you brought that up. So if you see naturally in his own life, even when he's not in a relationship, he's already leading his own life. That means he has a goal, he has a purpose, he's very committed, he's very disciplined, he has great work ethic, he's very decisive on what he wants to do with his life. He has a clear path of what he wants to achieve for his life, and he lives his life that way. Even without you being romantically involved in his life, even without you being in his life, if you see him already acting that way with his own self, because I think leadership is something, it's not something you do once in a while. It's not something you do once in a day. It's a lifestyle. So people who are already naturally leaders, it's something that they practice their entire life. And it's something that comes naturally to them because they've been living their life that whole way. It's like health, right? The best way to be healthy is not just do a diet every couple of months and get off the diet. It's living a healthy lifestyle. Just live that life that way, and you'll naturally be healthy. And the same thing when it comes to leadership. So if a guy tells you he's a leader, the best way for you to know that you can see if he's a leader, just observe the way he moves. Just observe his life. If he tells you he has a plan, if he tells you he's hard working, if he tells you he's consistent, if he tells you that he has plans for his future, but when you're dating him in the beginning phase, but you notice that a lot of the things he's saying doesn't match up with his behavior, that's a big tell right there. And also the easiest way to tell for you is just the way he plans the day.
Yes.
So have you guys been on guys that he's looking for you to plan for the day? And he's asking you where to go. He's asking you where to eat, instead of just, hey, give get ready. I'll pick you up at 7, look good, and I'll have everything planned out for the night. See, that's the difference between planning something and being decisive instead of just like waiting for you to make a decision. All right.
I hate having to plan it
Yeah, exactly. Right. Have you guys had guys like that?
We shouldn't have to plan.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
But I have. I went on a date and like he had planned activity, and then I was like, okay, what are we doing after? He's like, oh, do you want to get dinner? And I was like, that's
Oh, yeah.
not part of the
Yeah,
plan.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's true.
that should have been.
Yeah.
Where's the reservation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that become a turnoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, and he was like, oh, I don't know where you want, and like picks up his phone, and I'm like, you should have.
You
known.
planned this, right?
Yeah. Like, so yeah.
Has it happened to you?
Like
The guy didn't plan the date. He was looking for you to plan the date.
I feel like in my previous experience, you've always just been very like planning things. Like something will come up and be like, oh, we should do that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like I've had partners that like will go like, oh, I have tickets to this. Like you want to like, I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And Jules is probably, you said you hate that, right?
I hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Do you want to pay for
Just
the date?
surprise me.
Do you want to pay for the date?
First date?
Yeah, the first date.
No.
He's looking for you. Hey, are you gonna pitch in?
That's a bum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that's a man that can't lead.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
And like as you said, that he doesn't have his life
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
If
that's
he
true.
can't provide first date,
Is
just
that-
a meal.
Is that an automatic turn off if you
Oh, yeah.
if he's looking for you to pay for the date?
Yeah, it just says it's never going to be anything serious.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it shows he wants to be taken care of.
Yeah,
Instead of him actually leading and wants to take care of you.
yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. No, because I've heard what do you think of the response? Oh, I think Sophie just got here. She's almost here. What do you think? What's the response of a lot of women saying that I don't want to? I want to be able to pay for the date. I don't want to go 50-50.
A woman saying that she
No,
wants
there's a lot of
oh.
women online and on saying that I don't want to let the man pay for my date. I want to pay for the date.
Well, respectfully, good for them.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I mean, that's her choice, and she must have her reasons.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with it, respectfully.
Yeah. Respectfully, like I am kind of financially illiterate. I just like the worst spending habits, especially now that I have like a good salary and job. It's terrible. Like me and TikTok shop is a problem. And I honestly think I want a partner that's just gonna like deal with my money for me and be like, you can't keep buying shit, bro. Like I do need somebody to like crack the whip a little bit on my spending habits.
Yeah.
I like do not have the strength to do it.
Hey, where are you?
Yeah, or again, the man that will provide for the whole thing. So your money is your money.
Exactly. And then I
Mhm.
can spend it all.
Yeah.
So I don't have to budget.
Right
I have
there?
to pay the PG&E. Because I'm the master tenant in my apartment and I rent out the rooms. So
Yeah.
I have to make sure that
Oh,
all
are you gonna
that's taken
park?
care of.
Are you gonna park?
But,
Okay, I'll come.
Yeah, respectfully.
Okay, I'll come down and grab you. I know where you
for
are.
her, but
Yeah.
I would
Okay,
like
okay.
the man to pay because
Okay. All right. What's up, everybody? I have one more guest just arrived. I'm gonna go grab her right now. So I'm gonna let the ladies take over real quick and host the show real quick. So yeah, if you have any specific question or topics you want these ladies to respond to, drop it through a super chat and they'll be able to respond to you guys. And I'll be back in 5 minutes. Let me just go grab your friend. Okay. I'll be back.
All right. Well, I just feel like for the date, I think the man should pay for it first since he initiated it and everything. And then for the second date, I think the woman should pay for her own food and he can pay for his own food.
I mean, it really depends. It just
Yeah.
depends.
Probably not even
Oh,
going to
shit.
go out just with somebody if they're not going to be like paying for it for the first few dates. Like I think maybe like I was dating someone for like maybe 8 or 9 months last year.
Say your money is your
and
money.
just like
I just meant
proportionately what I made to what he made, like I paid for brunch like once a month, and that was fair. It was like, oh, I want to do this for you, like
Yeah.
it's like a nice thing, like it felt good for me, but it's like no, like I proportionally, like you should pay your like equitable versus like equal. What is equitable versus like equal, so it's like if you as a man already are making more, you have that leg up in society, whereas like your dollar, like my dollar to your dollar is different.
yeah.
So it's like yeah, I do expect that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it all depends on everybody has different circumstances. Everybody has different situations. Yeah, I mean, if I make more than my partner and, I mean, and I will treat him out.
Yeah.
But like
Mhm.
we're talking about the first date though, right? So
Mhm.
yeah.
I also want to be a place like with a partner where like I just don't see us like having to worry about like who's paying for who. Like I know that I can like I have
Yeah.
just like a very abundant lifestyle. Everything I have and I need is around me. And so like I just like don't work from a place of like scarcity. And I feel like going into a date with that mindset already like also sets it up to like being an uncomfortable situation. So it's like I
Yeah.
already have found that like with guys when I was on dating apps and talked to, like if they weren't very clear of like how they would present themselves when we met, then like no, like I wouldn't even meet them.
Somebody said, "Talk to us, ladies." Great conversation so far.
What do you guys want to hear? What are your guys' questions?
What are your questions?
Silent.
I know.
I think somebody's typing.
Men should pay regardless. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think a relationship should be like a teamwork
It's a partnership.
partnership for sure.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, like I wouldn't mind, like I would treat it like my friends. Like I would take my friend out to dinner, like my girlfriends out to dinner. Like I got this time, you get next time. Like it's not a big
Somebody
deal.
said, "How old are you, women?"
Well,
I'm 26.
35.
I'm 28. Woman. Boobs. I'm gonna use the restroom while we're kind of having a little hiatus.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stretch it out, y'all.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm trying to find a comfortable way to sit.
I know. I always like to sit crisscross.
I like to sit straight, like forward. Chat is.
I just said I'm talking to somebody.
I just said I wasn't married. I didn't say I wasn't single.
Right.
Talking about legal status, right? Like, would I file on my
Yeah,
W-2,
right, y'all.
like my income tax? I file single on my income tax.
I just said I was talking to somebody. I didn't hear the beginning. But you look great at 35, though.
Oh, thank you.
Like I thought you'd be like my age or something.
I get that. It's funny. Have you seen that those memes where like I look like your age, but I'm older than you, and like
Right,
guys hitting on me?
right,
Yeah,
right.
that's always what it is. I'm like my oldest niece is 22, so it feels weird when like a 22-year-old like guy hits on me, and I'm like, you're old enough to be my like son,
Right.
because if my niece is your age, it's almost like
Right.
my son, and I feel weird.
Yeah, I dated someone younger before.
I filed my income taxes single because I'm not
Really?
legally married, is what I was saying.
No, but I dated someone younger. He was 21. I was like,
At your age now, or when?
yeah,
you
I'm
were-
at my age now, and I thought he was mature because you got some that are younger and
Yeah.
they're mature for their age, but like he tried to act like he was mature, but then he turned out to do like fuckboy shit, and then fucked one of my friends. It was just crazy. Like I don't want to go full into detail, but it was just fucking crazy, and I'm just like, yeah, you just showed your age.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Again, I feel like that's the thing with the prioritizing relationships,
Mhm.
marriage, and early. It's like a lot of it has to your personal development
Right.
has to be
Right.
Dang.
Somebody said he was useless.
I mean, 21 is such a baby still, but I get it. Yeah, some people. Do
it was
mature.
my first time dealing with someone younger, so usually I go for older or my older,
or your
but
age.
yeah,
older.
or my age, yeah. But I prefer older. But you got some older ones that are immature too.
Tell
So
me
at
about
this
it.
point, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. It just all depends on their personal development, really, and maturity level.
All right.
Somebody said he was useless.
The chat is
We
surprised.
are back.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys so far. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking over. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I I had a question for you guys. I know this is something that's always brought up in conversations, and I've had a lot of back and forths on these conversations. But I know we all agree that if you come across a man that with good, strong leadership skills, he wants to provide and take care of you. That means you're gonna have to trust his leadership, right? So naturally, you would have to submit to him. But also, he's proven to you that he can lead. He's giving you a body of work that you can trust him. So are you okay with that type of man to be able to adjust your life and to adjust your life depending on the boundaries that he has for himself and for the relationship? Because we agree, you guys have boundaries, right? Men have boundaries as well. Can we agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things I do see online is a lot of women say, I don't want a man to tell me what to do. All right, go ahead.
I think if you communicate the boundaries in a healthier way and have an understanding, then it will work out and balance just fine.
Okay.
Because boundaries are healthy. Everybody needs those.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, what your relationship with each other is.
All right.
It's needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's come up. Are you right there? Sit in the middle. And then just pull up that mic under the table. Just pull it up.
Okay.
It's underneath the table. You just pull it up.
Oh, I see. Okay. Cute.
All right. Thank you so much. Sophie, thank you for jumping on the pod. I appreciate you. If you don't mind, a lot of people don't know who you are.
Yes.
If you want to give yourself a quick introduction for everybody out there.
My name's Sophie. I'm Latina and Native, Mexican, yes, to be exact. My age is 24, so 1999 all day. Let's go. I work in social media consulting, and my relationship status is healthy, open relationship, long-term committed. And what I'm looking for is honestly just some easy dating, some casual, just like reciprocity. Yeah.
Well, shout out to you, Sophie.
Thank you.
Thank you for making it. I appreciate you for making the time to be on the pod. Excited to have you on. But we were talking about submission and following a man that's already proven to you that he can lead you, right? I have to be very direct. Are any of you guys here hard-headed, stubborn when it comes to following directions, especially when it comes to a man leading you in your life?
I could be very stubborn.
You could be very stubborn.
I could be very stubborn, depending on what it is.
Okay.
If it's something that I want, if it's something that he doesn't want, like I'm gonna go and do it anyway. But then you learn from it. Whatever it is, it depends. So.
Okay. What about you?
I would say it depends. It depends on what it is.
It depends what it is.
Again, a relationship, it has a lot of communication and a lot of compromise, so it would really depend.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly like guidance. I don't think, but I am hard-headed. Like I know what I want. And when I don't, it leaves me confused, and that's when I really want guidance from my partner.
All right. What about you? Are you hard-headed? Are you hard-headed? Are you?
I mean, no, I don't think I am. I feel like I'm a very go with the flow person. I've probably said that 5 times already. But I'm also I'm just not gonna let some dumbass tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna be
Depends on
in a position with somebody that I don't trust in that.
Yeah. That's why I prefaced it the man has already proven to you that he can lead you.
Yeah.
And he's not a dumbass. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I just also I haven't been in that situation in a long time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Don't,
Okay.
Hypothetically.
Okay. So naturally, if the man is leading the relationship and he's proven to you that he can lead, and you trust him, right? Are you okay with that man having the final say and the final word? Now, this is a man that still, when he makes decisions, I have to make sure it's clear. He has your best interest at heart, and he's open to discussing things with you before he makes a decision. You guys will come together and have a conversation about that, especially things that's very important to the family, to the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, he's gonna have the final word and say. Are you guys okay with that? He's not going to ignore you. He's not he doesn't devalue you or put you down when you have an opinion. He respects your opinion. He always comes to you, hey baby, I have this plan for our kids, for our future. This is my plan. I just want to get your input. What do you think? But at the end of the day, he's going to have the final say because he is the leader. And also, like I said, you trust him to make the decision. And he's shown you consistently that he's very decisive and makes good decisions for the family. But he, as a leader, he has the final say. Is that going to be a problem?
It really depends on what it is.
Why? Why?
Because I mean, if he actually knows what he's talking about with whatever it is, if he has more knowledge about it than I do, then yeah, he's gonna have the final say so.
Yeah.
But if I know for sure that he's wrong about something, I'm gonna let him know that.
Of course, right?
I'll just let him see for himself.
Yeah.
And if he was right, then okay, you win.
Yeah.
But if I was right, okay, you learned from it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say yes, because if he fails, then it's a lesson we both learn and we can figure it out together.
Figure it out together. Okay. Anybody else want to add on?
Honestly, no.
No.
I would just love some kava, please.
Oh yeah, I gotta get you a cup.
Yeah. I just know I would never want to be in like the situation where it's like
bickering.
Someone is like, I have to just let them fail and fuck up before I, and like, because I've seen that happen with like just my friends.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you're like, okay, like if you want to do that, go ahead. And I don't really say anything because I'm just like, okay,
yeah,
like that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I have no input on you.
Okay. All right. No, so no, this is a good conversation. So you said that here's the thing. I want to, when you make decisions, especially all of us, because all of you guys are, some of you guys are single, but in our own lives, we make decisions, right? But there are going to be times where you think you're making the best decision, but it's also going to be a mistake, but you learn from it and you grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a man, if it's shown to you that he's proven to you that he can lead you, he's going to try to make the best decision he can, but we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up a great point. If he does make a mistake, you guys learn from it together and you still support him. It doesn't waver your confidence in his ability because even though he makes mistakes, but his good decisions outweigh the wrong decisions. It's not like he makes it often. Like he makes, there are more good positive decisions, more than the mistakes he make, but mistakes are inevitable. But he's shown he's a leader. That doesn't deter him to keep going. He doesn't give up. Look, I made a bad decision. I'm gonna take responsibility for it, baby. But I learned from it, and let's move on. Go ahead. You want to say something?
And you mentioned his intentions are all pure.
Yeah,
and it's for the benefit of both of you. So yeah, why not?
So that's why I wanted to push back because you said that, because like I said, a lot of women would say I want a leader, but then when the man's leading you, and then you have a hard problem for him if he makes a decision, even though you think that you wanted him to do what you said, and if he does make the mistake, then that's going to cause a problem in the relationship.
I wouldn't say I want him to do what I say.
Yeah.
I would just give my advice and opinion about it. Like, okay, I think you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, you can go ahead and, make that decision. If it's the wrong one, then you can be like, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say, oh, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm just going to I'm just going to give you my opinion about it. Give you my input about it. I'm like, okay, I don't think that's a good idea, but okay, you can go ahead and try it.
Right.
But if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to try it the other way. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You about to say something?
Yeah, I like to agree because, everyone makes mistakes, and at the end of the day, I think everyone just wants a partner that tries. Like I have a lot of initiative, and if like my partner can't match that, then yeah.
Okay. Are you the type of person? And I'm just being upfront. Are you the type of person that if the man, say he's a good man, good leader, he's shown consistently to make good decisions, but there was one decision he wanted to make, and he came by, you got disgusted, but you said that I think I'm right. I think we should go this way. But he's like, you know what? I think we should go this way. I'm going to make the final decision. He makes the decision. He fails. Like, it doesn't go right. Are you the type of person to use that against him later on and be like, hey, I told you so. I knew it. Or are you going to be like, you know what? But are you going to be like, you know what? Let's learn from this. Okay, now we learned that we should have gone this way, and then he's gonna make the adjustment and do what you said, but you're gonna support him. Are you the type of woman that's gonna like use that against him later?
I would never throw it in his face.
Okay.
At all. I'm just like, okay, we learn from our mistakes. We're
Yeah.
human. Now, my mother was the type that did that.
Okay. All right.
I told you,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the type that really supports my man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So let's just try it the other way.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Less arguments.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
Yeah.
But I think that's where that trust comes from, right? No, because I've seen in other relationships online, because women would say, I want a man to lead me and to guide me, but at the same time, when that man makes mistakes, a lot of times they'll be like, you know what, I want to be involved in the decision making, because what if he guides me and leads me in the wrong direction, right? And I think that's where, if we had to go back in the beginning, he has to show you a body of work that he has proven to you that he can lead and he can make decisions for you. And if he does make a bad mistake, all good leaders have accountability and responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
They'll make the adjustment. You know what? It's my fault. Look, I'm not putting. I know you told me. I know you told me. I know I got it. I know you got
Yeah.
it, but it's my fault. I know it's on me. I'm gonna make the readjustment and go back. But I think because women have been raised to be very independent, based on what I hear online from a lot of men, they're saying it's hard for women to, because you've been leading your life independently your own way, and you finally come across a guy and he makes one mistake, it's hard for you to kind of to support him and to take responsibility for that mistake, because independently you're like, see, you should have listened to me. And that can cause a lot of rift, especially cause a lot of arguments, and sometimes you might emasculate your man's leadership.
I feel like men sometimes throw the mistakes in our faces as women
No, I agree with
all
that.
the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I mean, I didn't do that to you when you made a mistake. So why are
Yeah.
you doing that to me?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah. And that's why accountability and responsibility is
Right,
important.
definitely.
And people with good leaders, like, they're very responsible and accountable for their decisions.
mhm.
Usually the toxic, controlling ones are the ones that put the blame
Oh
on you.
my
They put the
God,
blame on you.
narcissist.
The narcissist or the victim.
Yeah,
mentality
I
type man.
unfortunately grew up with a narcissist in my life. So it's like, I'm scared to deal with that
Okay.
from another guy again. So that's why I'm trying to be like, okay, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
I want this. I don't want this. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Are there any parts of your life that you're unwilling to compromise and to let a man guide you in your life? I have a couple of things I do see online where there's a lot of pushback from a lot of women. One of them is just the way you dress to represent him and the family. I know we live in a very society that we can, you guys can go out there and dress however you want. But usually men who tend to be rooted in family, they tend to be very conservative, especially when it comes to the sexuality of their women. They just want to preserve that not only for himself, for the relationship, but also provide a good example of how they raise their daughters and for their sons. But I do see from a lot of women, they're like, you know what, he can lead me in everything, but he can't put a boundary on how I dress to represent the family and him. Do you guys have a problem with that?
Yeah.
It would really depend.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like I dress for myself, but in a more empowered. I'm not trying to be sexy.
Yeah.
It's more empowering and create self-expression.
Yeah.
So,
Confident.
yeah, confidence. And again, it boils down to the intention. So
Okay.
if he sees it like, oh no, you're being too sexual, and then that's a conversation we'll have. Like, what makes it sexual? Why do you see it that way? And then I give my opinion, his opinion, be in the middle.
Okay. Jules?
I mean, again, it depends. It depends. And for me, I dress kind of tomboyish.
Yeah.
So I don't have to really worry about that. Only time I dress a little bit, more revealing is if I'm like modeling or
I know you model, so
Yeah.
it's different. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, when it comes to parents, I feel like you do have to dress conservative, dress appropriate, because you don't want to be
Time it.
showing your goodies to your parents. Like,
But-
it's inappropriate.
I've heard a lot of women say, why would I have to cover up my goodies with my man? That's controlling my man. If I want to show my body, especially if you want to show like your most of your body online, a lot of women say, I'm doing this because I feel beautiful. If a man tells me to cover up my body, especially if you're very provocative online, then that's a man trying to control it. Do you think it's controlling for a man to tell you, you know what, can we not post your whole body online for all other men to see, especially if we're going to go in a relationship, in marriage, especially if we're going to have children, we're going to have daughters. Do you think it's controlling for a man to say that, or do you think it's reasonable for a man to have standards, especially in the dynamic of a marriage, with something that we can reserve for ourselves and the family? Go ahead.
I was talking to someone who's Turkish, and he was saying, he's just like brought up that like what I posted on my close friends on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I do like my public image, like all my siblings follow me online, like my family and my platforms public. Like I have a level of like how I show up to work, and that I don't have compartmentalized aspects of my life, like how I dress one place, like I can have that be in my workplace or with my family. Like, and for me personally, like I have big boobs, like that's just like something I can't make go away. And like I do like intentionally try to wear tops that like I don't feel uncomfortable in, because if they are exposed, like I can feel uncomfortable. I also have a little bit.
Okay.
But my point with the Turkish guy is that he had brought that up, and it made me think about just what I was posting on my close friends, and I just like had realized, I was like, oh, you know what, like I am gonna lay off of posting some thirst traps to my close friends. Yeah. And that goes on my Finsta, which is just like all my girlfriends. So
say you come across a man like we mentioned before, he's a good guy, he loves you, he's committed to you, he wants to provide, protect you, have kids with you. Would you have a problem with him saying, hey, look, can we just reserve your body for us? You know,
I mean, it wouldn't even be happening just because that's like who I am.
Okay.
Like
So
that's just like my platform is like open to everybody. I also am like the face of, like I'm becoming the face of my company at work, and I'm posting a lot online, and that is 2 parents. Yeah. It is 2 children. It is a baby clothing company. Yeah. So like you know, like that is also, I have to address to appeal to that crowd.
No, I'll go. Okay.
So that is like something I already consider, and it's just like part of my wardrobe.
Sophie, what do you think?
For me, I like the question. For me, it's kind of a layered because, I think that's like my phone. I'm so sorry. I should have muted that. Or can you just like mute that for me?
I don't know. That's so good. They can't hear it.
Okay, cool. Cool. So for me, I have a similar thing where like, well, right now I'm kind of dressed like really modestly, kind of, but like I am a model as well. And so for work, like sometimes I get like swimwear or like lounge wear stuff, and I'll like post it. I don't think I've like posted anything besides that, but like my partner, he is very upfront. Like he has standards, and he is like, you know, obviously, like he told me straight up one day, like, you know, if you ever do OnlyFans, like I'll break up with you, because at that point you're not my girlfriend, you're for everyone. I was like, that's real. Like I wouldn't do OF. I think that's like the most I do right now is just like kind of swimwear. But my family, like similarly, I don't divide myself for my social media, for my work. My work is social media, and it leads into family. And sometimes, like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, like I'm very young, so I be dressing, you know, a little slutty at the family functions. So it is who I am. So I'm gonna turn that off because people say they can hear it. So,
oh, they can hear it. Okay, that's right. All right. Okay. Yeah. So for most, I know she said, but do you think because I've heard it from a lot of women, like they don't have a problem. If a man tells her, hey, look, can we just reserve this to protect our relationships, to protect our family, to represent us to look in a good way, so we don't look like we're degenerates online. We look like a family unit. Because I have seen online where, you know, I see couples who are married, but you know their partners damn near half naked.
Well,
go ahead.
They have some people have 2 separate accounts.
Yeah.
One for, you know, their model and stuff, the other for their personal stuff.
Yeah.
So I have one for my personal stuff.
Yeah.
And you okay?
Okay.
All right. And
The Kava is strong on this one.
yeah, and I have another for, my modeling stuff, all that stuff. So, I mean, I don't think I post anything very revealing.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as like for the man, I feel like if he's supportive with what I do, as long as it's separate, as long as I don't post it on my personal stuff, then that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters,
Yeah. I think when it comes to modeling, I think for usually for the most of the guys, I think how you expose your sexuality to represent him, that's important for a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys, because we want to reserve that for us to protect what's us. We don't want to show that to all other men to see for the world to see. But I think when it comes to modeling, if it's separate, I don't see a problem with it. But I think when it goes to the realm of OnlyFans, and that can be.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And especially you think about like the kids, like when you were thinking.
Yeah, that's
in,
true.
Like,
That's
married
true.
context.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And, most people do it for the money.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't really think about, because I thought about it a long time ago, but I was just like, you know what? I don't want myself getting out there like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I gotta be really careful, and the money is not worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Damon Owens, Lord Punisher. Appreciate you guys for watching the live chat. I do have some things I want to react to. I saw online, but before we do the reactions real quick, I just want to pass it to you guys. Are there any topics that we really want to discuss? Or just throw it out there and we can kind of break down. This is the chance. This is the time.
Mm-hmm. I think we have a topic.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Throw it out there.
Like situationships.
Situationships. Okay.
It's just like, let's just talk how, like, the standards. Sometimes all we want is a little respect, a little basic decency, and open-ended communication.
Yeah.
And men can't really handle emotions. Like, I don't know. I'm a little sad coming into this podcast.
Yeah.
So maybe if you can pick up what I'm putting down, that would be cool. That's my topic that I'd love to talk about.
Let's focus on the situationships one. Have you guys ever been in a situation? Well, I know you just mentioned it already, but have you guys been in a situationship before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's define what a situationship is, right? I think until we go understand it. For me, a situationship is you're in a situation where the man hasn't officially confirmed that you are his long-term committed girlfriend, right? So if he hasn't confirmed that with you, then you're in a situation where you don't know where you stand, right? You don't know where you stand, right? So I guess my question to the ladies for you guys: why do women stay in situationships where the man hasn't clarified her that she is something he wants to be with long term? Like, why do you stay with that guy?
Because there's an aspect of the game this day and age that, like, you hook up your way into a relationship. That's what I see. A lot of people want to hook up first. I mean, like, I know I don't want to marry someone that I don't enjoy, like, our romantic life. And for me personally, like, I was just loyal to a situationship for 6 months. We have mutual friends. We're in the same community. We're seeing each other, like, weekly. And then he, like, kind of fell off for a few weeks, almost a month.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, and he saw me on my birthday, which was like 2 weeks ago. And then I asked him about it. I was like, do you want me to just leave you alone? He's like, yeah, I actually met someone that I want to, like, explore with. And I was like, what are you fucking talking? Like, oh, like, what? Like, okay, you don't want to explore. Like, what have we been doing?
Yeah.
Like, what have we been doing? Like, I thought there's so many other, like, factors that complicate my situation. I don't know necessarily that I want to bring up. I don't know, but I guess it is very real, like, having unprotected sex with somebody. Like, we were having protected sex for a while and then we stopped. And so I thought that was, like, also a sign, like, and I felt I fucked up by letting that happen, because at that moment I should have we should have stopped and had a conversation
Yeah,
about it
about like
before
taking
that
that
like
relationship.
happened.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So, anybody want to add on?
I think I'm
Yeah, never done.
never done a situationship.
I was in one and didn't know it.
How do you not know?
But I guess like he tried to make it seem like he really wanted to get to know me and only me.
Yeah.
And he was seeing other people and I didn't know. And then, the communication stopped. And then I was asking him like, okay, where do we stand? Because I haven't been hearing from you. And then he was like, I basically want an open relationship. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah.
So it's like he was explaining the whole thing. And I'm just like, you should have just told me that from the beginning. Like, I didn't appreciate the fact that you try to lure me into that. And I'm like, that's selfish.
Yeah.
You should, if you would have told me that from the beginning, that would have gave me a decision. Okay, do I want to stay or not? And I guess if he would have told me, he probably was like, I didn't want you to be disappointed. So that's why, I'm just now telling you. But I'm just like, no, you disappointed me by like leading me on. And then you hit me with this.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How long when you date somebody, how long do you want him before you want him to confirm your position in the relationship? Like how soon?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
I was seeing someone exclusively last year for 10 months. And then when I started pressing it is when we broke up because he's like, I just like, if you can't just like have me treat you nice and like be in your life. I was like,
10 months?
excuse me, like, sir, we stay together 5 nights a week. Like, if you're not going to let me call you my boyfriend, like, that's insane.
So you were in a 10-month situation?
Yeah, because I follow the rule of 3, 6, 9. 3 months, you get to really see somebody. You see their patterns and everything. They can't hide shit from you.
Yeah.
After 6 months, you there's like another level if you see how they handle and process shit.
Yeah.
And then at 9 months, if shit doesn't go anywhere by then.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I need to know somebody. I need to have that affirmation and see you at work and in your life, in your consistency for me to want to commit to you. Because I'm not just going to go in a relationship with somebody after 2 weeks. Like, I don't know, like you could be someone that like has 3 or 4 different jobs in a year. Like I need somebody that is going to be stable and I need to see you be stable in my life. And that's why I like use that 3, 6, 9 measurement.
So in 3 months, you want him to confirm your position?
No. In 3 months, it's just like when I think if we start sleeping together, that there's a level of like, okay, we have to have that conversation of like where we're at.
Yeah.
And then there's a level like after that, it's like, okay, like this is casual. But then it's like, from then on, I personally am not gonna, because I also like, I'm not gonna get in a relationship with someone that I don't want my dad to meet or that can't hang out with me and my siblings.
Yeah.
Because all my siblings have partners and there's 4 of us. So I'm like the 7th wheel because I don't have a partner and I spend a lot of time with my family.
So there's a difference between dating and a relationship, right? So dating is just getting to know each other. The relationship is when you confirm that we are in a relationship. I am your boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, and this is something that's going to go long term, right? So in the dating phase, how long are you willing to date a man before you want him to have that conversation to confirm that you're going to go into the relationship?
But there's also like cahoodleships, a delusionship.
Wait, what is that?
A cahoodleship is like when like you both just like are enjoying hanging out with each other. And like it's good. No one is tripping about it. A situationship is when it's like, okay, we have a situation on our hands. And then a delusionship is what I was in last year. Is I was like, oh, we're gonna be together long enough, and like then we'll realize, like the other person will realize that they want to be together, and that isn't necessarily true because that's not going to be that other person's intention. So if one person has like this idea of like how they think things will go, that's where it becomes a delusionship.
I mean, wouldn't that still be the same thing? Because you're still with him, but there's no confirmation that this is going long term.
No, because I feel like a situationship, I think that there is fine lines with all 3 of those.
Yeah, well,
like a cahoodleship welcomes it.
No, like my definition,
I'm so sorry.
I know
my age is probably.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, my definition of situationship is when you're with the man, but he hasn't confirmed that this is going to be a relationship that we're going to be committed and monogamous towards each other. So if we're just spending time, with each other, doing the things that you would naturally do in a relationship without the commitment, without the confirmation, that would be a situationship. It can be in a form of cohotorship. You can just spending time having fun, no focus on the future. But I think my problem with that is when you spend time with somebody, eventually you're gonna have a strong connection with them, and eventually down the line, somebody's gonna want a relationship. So even if you start off as a cohotorship, as a situationship, or just having fun with each other, naturally as human beings, you're gonna form a connection with them. But if you haven't established that up front, then you're gonna find yourself in a situation where, oh wow, I've caught feelings with this person, but that person didn't get with you because of he wanted to be with you long term. He just wanted to have fun. But then that's gonna be difficult to navigate because now you have feelings. Now you want to take it to the next level. But in his mind, he's like, look, we just did having fun right now. Like I never told you I wanted to be with you long term. That's on you. Does that make sense?
I mean, I don't know, because I think that almost confuses me more
Well,
based on my own experiences.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, go ahead. You want to say
isn't
something?
that, like, just in the beginning, shouldn't it just be defined like what are
Yeah,
you
like have that
you?
intention in the beginning.
Yeah.
Isn't that, I guess,
That's
whenever
well,
you feel ready
yeah.
to talk to that person about that, isn't that?
Yeah.
well, I consider myself to be demisexual, so like I can't sleep with anybody unless I have an emotional connection to you.
Mhm.
Well, that's the dating phase, right? Dating is trying to get to know that, build that connection
Yeah.
first. And once that connection is strong enough, like, oh, okay, I really have feelings for this person. Then you bring up the intention. Okay, let's take it to the next level.
Yeah. It's messy. It's messy.
Yeah.
And especially like I don't date, I want to say just like your average guy. Like I have a very specific type that I attract because of like who I am in my social circle.
Yeah. What's
and in,
your?
like my area.
I've heard that from women that they have a specific type. Well, what's your specific type?
Capricorn men.
So specific.
No, because I think I can't make that shit up at a certain point. I'm like, okay,
You said Capricorn, man?
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
So that's like December to January.
Okay.
and yeah, Capricorn Aquarius.
Okay. I mean, is there any specific characteristics he has to have? Like,
Probably makes music.
okay. Like an artist. So artist, all right. Does he have to be like financially stable? Does he have to make good money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he have to be tall?
Yeah, I don't talk to guys over like under 6 foot.
Oh yeah,
So 6
I'm
foot.
with you.
That's just it.
What is financially stable for you? Like how much money is good for you?
I mean, at least 6 figures.
Okay, so 100K.
Like, I mean, that's pretty much like where I'm at. Like, and if I'm making
Okay.
more than you, then it's like,
Okay.
you know.
So Capricorn artist, 6 foot, 100K. That's your specific. That's your type.
There's
Manifesting
more
it. We're manifesting
details.
it.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
That's like a better list than the list I try to make in my
Yeah.
like journal. I was trying
Yeah.
to do that list the other day, and I was like,
Do you understand that demographic of men is very rare?
okay, but then why do those are the only ones I meet?
No, because you're in that
Those
circle.
are the only ones I meet. They're just
No,
like,
because
why?
you're in that circle. So when because like I said, you said that you're in that circle, and that's
Yeah.
you're in that industry, so you're gonna come across a lot of those guys. But usually those guys are very specific. It's usually from a relationship standpoint, they tend to be very attractive to most women. So the hard part with you is to try to find a guy in that small dating pool that's also going to be loyal. Because usually guys, when they have a lot of options like that, they're very attractive, they're going to play around until they're ready for their relationship.
Yep. I know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I know that. But I'm also at the point where I think I'm realizing that like the pond I'm in is too small. And like I think like I'm meant to be and be doing
Yeah.
like a little bit bigger of things.
Yeah.
And so the things that I think I want aren't actually what I'm gonna get. Because like for my example, like the job I got, like I was aiming low for jobs, and then I ended up getting this like amazing
Yeah.
fucking job. That was everything that I've ever cared about. So it's like
Yeah.
I sometimes don't even realize what I want. And that's
Yeah.
like you were talking about it at the beginning. It's just like letting the world like form around you. Also, so I can't say that like I
Yeah.
have it. I mean, at least 6 foot. Like
Yeah.
that is like the bare minimum.
Oh, does he have to be 6 foot? Because how tall are you?
5'11". I'm 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah. So if the guy's like 5'9", 5'10", no. Even if it's a good, like say he's a good guy, good morals, good job, good leadership skills, but he's 5'9", 5'10"? You wouldn't take him?
I think I've been in, like, the Turkish guy was like 5'10",
Yeah.
and we were together. We almost got married for the green card.
Oh, yeah. No. This is a good conversation to have. I want to pass it to the panel real quick because I understand we all have preferences. We all have a type. We all have things that we find attractive, but I think can we all agree that sometimes we have to be realistic of what we can attract, especially if you're looking for something long term.
Hell no. Well,
No?
you are what you attract, though.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm really goofy, and I want somebody with a sense of humor who's
Yeah.
also disciplined in, their lifestyle, like the gym, their
Yeah,
diet, their mindset. So yeah, I would say you are what you attract.
Yeah. You want to say something, Jules?
I just think you need to work on yourself so you can attract the things that you want.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of doing that now. So I've been attracting a lot of crappy men. So I'm just like,
Me, I'm so happy with who I am with. Like, he's perfect, and the fact that he lets me like explore my sexuality as like a gay bit is really good. But I do think I'm also healing and been attracting strange situations.
Right,
and under
right.
6 feet is like kind of a common thread. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. I give them. I'm Mexican, like I don't discriminate, but maybe I should.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not it feels less worse if they're over 6
Yeah.
foot.
I used to want a guy that was 6'10".
Yeah. No, look, I agree. Like we have to find our partner sexually attractive, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be with somebody that you don't find sexually attractive. All right. So I do agree with that. But can I give a pushback to you guys real quick? I think society, what society has done, it has convinced you guys to sexualize everything, prioritize certain traits that has nothing to do when it comes to a relationship, right? Because like let's use your example you provided, like 6 foot, right? Most women are, as long as the man's taller than you should be okay, right?
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to date a short man. I do agree with that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But if the guy's taller than you, that means that should be enough, right? But I think society is convinced that he has to be 6 foot, and we've caught up with that standard. But my issue is if the guy, what does a guy's height have to do with a committed long-term relationship? Just because his height doesn't determine he's a good man. It doesn't determine his moral character. It doesn't determine he's going to treat you and he's going to love you. He's going to be loyal to you. So why are we so focused on something that doesn't determine how good he's going to treat you? Now I agree with you. Like if you want a man that's 6 foot, but that should be something that has to be a deal breaker. Because if a guy's 6 foot, but he's, like you said, in a situationship for 10 months and is mistreating you, but there's a guy that's 5'10" or 5'9", but he treats you like a queen and treats you and gives you the world, why are you going to ignore the guy that's 5'10" on a height? Don't you think that can be a very limited line of thinking that's focused on things that doesn't really benefit the relationship?
Yeah, I get that, and I don't completely shut it out. Like I've been open if I meet somebody, and I'm just like, from what because like I said, I'm not even on dating apps anymore.
Yeah.
Like what I naturally just attract into my life is that type, and I'm just like, I can't help it. I'm like, that must be like a piece of like what I will have in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't shut things out. Like I'm always like, I'm a very like.
Well, I think you do because you mentioned it as your standard.
No, but that's just what comes. That's what comes up. Like comes to me.
Yeah.
You have a pattern. You have a type.
Yeah, like that's just what
Find your
shows
type.
up in my. Like that's what pursues me. Like I'm not out here getting on these men. Like,
and to add to that, like I honestly didn't know anything about height. Like I didn't know that even I was considered short. Like I'm 5'3", 5'4". And like I said, I'm Mexican. So our men be short.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And I used to be open, but I something I've realized, I don't think it's like a superficial thing, but looking back, I'm like, maybe it's more just the society we live in. Like maybe it's the way we treat our short kings. Like it's sorry to them.
No,
but,
it's
like,
it's a
they
biological.
internalize it perhaps, and then it's just like, I think it's more of just a self-love thing, honestly. Like, obviously we want to, like, I'm sure everyone wants to, like, find true love, right? Regardless of height. But like, if you don't love yourself, then how can you love someone else?
No, it's a biological thing for you to be attracted to a man that is taller than you, because one of the things that you guys look for in a man, because you want to feel safe with your man. And there's a physical presence that provides that when he's taller than you, because you want to feel safe around your man, because you want to feel provided, protected by him. If the guy's shorter than you and skinnier than you, you don't feel safe around that guy, because you feel like I'm probably gonna need to protect him. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's natural. That's why for a lot of women, you just want to pursue something that's taller.
You don't want to feel like you have a kid, a son.
Right.
That's true. So now to go back to your point, you said that I only attract guys who are 6 foot. That's why I know
and Capricorns. It's like that's so niche. Like I'm sorry, like they'll just come up to me in public.
Well, that's why I think
I find out later.
That's why I believe it's become your standard, because if it's 6 foot something that you really only want to date, then that's the only type of man that you give opportunity to approach you.
Also, like my brothers and my dad are all tall. Like I've always just been around taller men in my life. So just like,
is your dad tall?
Yeah, my dad's tall. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like if I find a husband that's like taller, like we will have a D1 baby for sure.
Okay.
It's in your genes.
Yeah, it's like literally in the genes.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying is that you might limit your dating. Like you want to expand your dating pool.
But that's the thing, is that like I'm not just like a normal person. Like I have like a very unique heritage. Everyone in my family is doing like a lot. Like there's just like a lot of things about me that just like I know that like I'm never just gonna be with somebody that like is like normal, and like I've accepted that, and like I've tried dating outside of like my social circles and stuff, but it just doesn't work. And it also it takes away a part of my identity.
Okay.
Because I have to dull myself down to be with that person.
You don't want,
and I don't want a partner that's going to make me have to dull myself down to feel like I can be like submissive to them. Because I do naturally want to be submissive to somebody that I like. Like I'm a very submissive like person when it comes to my partner. Yeah.
Now the reason why I'm just kind of challenging on that, because based on from a statistical standpoint, only 15% of all men are over 6 foot in the entire population. So, and we all know most women want the same man. They want a 6 foot guy, but there's not enough 6 foot men for all women to marry and be with a long-term relationship. So if you're blessed as a woman to find that man, not only he's 6 foot, but he's also treating you right and he's respectful and you guys are in a trustful, healthy relationship. But like, I agree with I have no problem when it comes to things that you find attractive, but I think it has to go deeper than that. What's more important, sexual attraction, or a man or a woman that truly is going to respect you and you guys are going to build a long-term relationship? It's the same thing when I hear from guys online. Like, they want the Instagram model that, has the curved shape and very pretty, very attractive. But how many times I've been with a lot of friends, like they are with their girlfriend, very pretty, but she has a bad attitude and, very toxic, and, it makes his life a lot worse, a lot harder. Yeah. So is it really worth it long-term at the end? So maybe cool in the beginning, but if you're talking about a long-term committed relationship in a marriage, are you going to really deal with somebody that's 6 foot that for 40, 50 years, but he's not really treating you with the respect you deserve? Is it really worth that?
Even be in that position.
So that's what I'm saying is like, I like to say, just I think sometimes social media and society has promoted things that necessarily doesn't really matter in a long-term relationship.
And also, like, when I was on dating apps, I would be able to like set Bumble to only show me men over 6 foot.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, like we do, and that psychologically fucks with you because it is using neurological tactics to make you addicted to using the dating apps. Yeah. Very interesting on the neurological side, but
okay. Yeah. So we talk about do you guys have any specific preferences of what you want as a man that you've realized today that you kind of limited as far as your dating options?
Just, the protection,
the
respect and communication. I feel like guys nowadays lack those a lot.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find someone like that with those 3 simple qualities. You know.
Okay. All right. No, but the 6 foot one was but what's your response to that? Because I one of the things I do hear from a lot of guys, and I'd love to hear your perspective. They said that a lot of women expectations today is like unrealistic. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, they want the Capricorn artist, 6 foot, 100K.
And we deserve it.
He has to be brown or melanin. You know, he has to be good looking, good teeth. You know, athletic, D1. Right. So look, if you can get that, but God bless you. But like I said, there's 150-60 million women in the U.S.
That's competing for the same.
That's competing for the same guy.
And how many
I'm
Sarah
on-
Beths are there?
Right.
Let's be fucking real.
I know, but if you ask most women, they would say the same thing. I'm unique. They would say the exact same thing you
I'm
said.
different.
I'm different. Like all women
Wait,
say the same.
Are
thing.
you telling me you've met a Sarah spelled SERA in your lifetime?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
No,
like it is like in my fate. Like that is just like my fate as an individual.
No, I agree with you. What I'm saying is, I have met a lot of women who have the same perspective as you, but the statistically, the numbers, there's not enough men of that caliber for all women who have the same perspective and confidence as you. Realistically, in real life, some women would get it, and a lot of women don't. And the problem is, a lot of women will delay relationship, marriage, just waiting for that guy to come across their life. Oftentimes, when you find these types of guys who have a lot of options, they tend to be the guys who tend to have most sleep around, and then when they're really ready for the relationship, they'll find the girl that he really wants to be with, and just cut off all the other girls. And you don't want to be the other girl; you want to be the main girl. But if he hasn't confirmed his position with you when you're in a 10-month situationship, then you become the other girl. Like I say, if he's giving if he's giving you the relationship, like I say, if he's giving you the relationship, then it's good. But if they're not giving you the relationship, then that's the issue.
And I hear that, and I've been solo poly pretty much for several years now, just because I haven't found a partner that I think is a match to really commit to. And so it's like, for me, it's like okay to sleep with other people if like that's what you feel called to. I think like I'm not a jealous girl, so it's like I think all relationships are valid, and like if you have someone else that you feel connected to, that's cool. But I also think that I don't know, it doesn't bother me. So when I hear that, it's not like, oh no, like I'm the other girl. Like I did feel really bad hearing with this recent situationship that like he still came to see me when he had been pursuing someone else this last month.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for her because I was like, dude, like that's not fair to you if he like actually is into you and like wants to see if there's a relationship with you. Like he shouldn't be doing that to you. Like for me, I'm like, okay, like we had our cahoodle shit and that's fine.
Right.
But that shows a man that has no like standard and values, right?
Well,
Definitely
no,
not.
He backed off with me. We're not seeing each other anymore. So
No, the fact that he pursued you even though he was with somebody else, that just shows me that he has no moral character.
Yeah.
I want to say something that I think I heard is one of the best advice I've heard on a relationship podcast. Somebody said it, but I want to hear what you guys think about it. Do you guys believe in staying in your lane when it comes to dating?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like date within your lane, date what you can get. Don't try to go be realistic of what you can attract and get in a relationship. Like
hell no.
But that sounds like you're settling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Settling, or what do you?
So let me a perfect example would be like you're when it comes to attraction scale, to make it simple for everybody that's watching, say you're a 3 when it comes to attraction, but you only want to date a 10. Is that realistic? Because normally we tend to date within our lane to what we attract in the same range when it comes to sexual attractiveness. So usually people in the 3, you find a guy or 3, 4, 5. Same thing for men. But if you're aiming too high for something that's unrealistic, that's dating that's going outside your lane.
Respectfully, I don't think any woman's a 3.
Right.
And
I mean, there are guys that are 3, right?
for sure.
Yeah. So the guys are 3. There's women that are 3. So it has to go both ways, right?
I don't know.
Wait, so you're saying the guys can be 3, but women can't be 3?
I think I'm also, like I said, I'm really gay, so I think women are beautiful. I
Well-
think they're all 5 and above for sure.
What is it? We have to be realistic. There's a
I don't-
spectrum, right? There's ugly on one end of the spectrum, and there's very attractive, become a model, right?
Yeah, conventional.
I think everybody have their own preferences and what
Yeah.
they want. I just think it shouldn't even be no ranges. Like I think everybody should date whoever they want.
Whoever they think
It's about the connection. It's not really about looks.
Yeah.
You know, if you're attracted to that person, you're attracted to that person. If you're not, then so be it.
So okay, so you want to
So
respond?
going to what you were saying about dating within your lane, I
Yeah.
think meaning keeping your expectations and your preferences realistic, right?
Yeah,
That
to
way
what you can get.
Yes, and it really all depends, I guess.
Like he's a perfect
Like
example.
what are
Yeah.
like with those preferences? Like you mean like ranking them with deal breakers and non-deal
No,
breakers?
like no. So an example would be you guys know who Thor is, who plays in
Chris
Marvels.
Hemsworth.
yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, right?
So fast, yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's realistic for women? I only want to date a guy like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Or do you think that's delusional outside your lane?
Realistic.
cute to me.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, we're just saying Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth, right?
Well, besides that, he's married and
Yeah. Well, I'm saying there's a guy. Yeah. You know, you guys find Chris Hemsworth attractive?
No.
Hell,
Oh, I
You don't find him
Henry
attractive?
Cavill, baby.
Okay. What about Brad Pitt?
Oh,
Brad Pitt?
no, no
No.
one
No.
wants Batman's ran through.
No.
like.
It is in
So
his.
basically, your biggest celebrity.
Yo, who's the
Right.
celebrity crush?
Mm.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal,
Clay Thompson.
Klay Thompson,
Ooh. I don't think I have one.
Steph Curry. What was Steph Curry? A lot of women say he's attractive.
No, I don't like
Klay Thompson.
So Klay Thompson. So perfect example. So say there's Klay Thompson. You know who Klay Thompson is, right?
Yeah.
Trying to think of mine. Yeah.
So what if
Horse chestnut.
so if there are women right now saying the only man I'm dating is Klay Thompson type of man. Is that delusional or is that realistic?
Delusion.
Delusional.
A little bit, but
So that's what I'm saying. Date
Right.
within your lane.
Yeah.
You're never gonna come across a guy the caliber of Klay Thompson. That's most women in life. So whatever you attract, that's your lane. You work with that. If you're gonna wait your whole life for a Klay Thompson type, it's not gonna happen.
I was just gonna say, like, my answer varies depending on what audience I want to respond to.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like if I'm responding to general people that like aren't, using apps like Raya because they don't like have that connection, then
Yeah.
they like aren't. They shouldn't be trying to like go for that.
And I'll reverse it to the men's, like to make sure that we're all on the same page. Like the equivalence to that for men is like when I have male friends, right? They say I only want to date Sports Illustrated models. Like no,
Yeah.
you're not gonna. Most guys in their life are never gonna come across or even be within the same vicinity of a Sports Illustrated model. That's like the most attractive women when it comes to the attractive scale. So
for sure.
that's delusional. So I tell them the same thing. You are fucking delusional.
Yeah.
All right. And number one, they'll never look your way. Number two, those types of women and men, they operate in a different dating bracket. Right. So that's what I'm saying is date within your lane. So we kind of agree with that, right? So date within in your circle with what the type of men and women that are coming to you that you can attract, that you can have a conversation with,
Sure.
build a relationship. So I know you guys were talking about, I know you were attracting men, but they don't give you relationships. I heard this on a dating podcast, and I think it provides real perspective. He said that your real options that you have when it comes to dating relationships, it's not the men that you can attract because you're women. You're always going to attract men. There's men right now in your DMs. There's always going to be men that approach you. Your realistic dating options is men who are willing to give you relationships. So that is the type of man that's your realistic type of man that you're gonna date.
Hmm.
So if all the men that you're dating that you're attracting are all 6 foot 100K, but none of those guys are not giving you long-term committed relationships and they want to be loyal to you, that's not your realistic dating range. Your dating range is the guys who want to commit to you, who want to start a family with you. So if those guys tend to be 5'10", making 80K, and maybe not be a Capricorn, they may be a different sign. And that's your realistic dating option is the guys who want to commit to you. And the same thing with women. Just because a woman wants to have sex with you, but if none of those women want to start a family with you, want to be loyal to you, that's not your realistic dating option. Your dating option is the women that want to start a family with you, that want to commit to you, that want to be loyal and respect you as a man. That's your realistic dating option. Sometimes we get caught up with the difference between attraction and long-term commitment.
Well, yeah, and it's just like you said when you were defining dating versus relationships.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're in our dating pool because we
Look.
can go on dates
Yeah.
and have fun, but like that's not realistically, yeah. I guess relationship pool.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at the society we live in today. We live in the casual sex, dating, hookup culture, right? And because of social media, a lot of guys have access to you. So the guys who just want to waste their time, they have access to you. So they're gonna shoot their shot, and they're gonna pretend, play that facade. The thing is, if none of these guys are making it official, I want to be a long-term committed relationship with you, then you have to kind of like reevaluate your vetting system to make sure that you know like the type of men you're gonna attract. But also be realistic. If you can attract the 6 foot 100K, but none of these guys want to start a family and want to be loyal to you, then that's not realistically your dating option. Your dating option is the caliber of men who want to be loyal to you, who want to treat you right, who want to have a family with you. But if you get caught up with what the social media promotes, oftentimes you ignore those guys who really want to be in a committed relationship with you, even though they don't fit your type.
I hear that. I think the biggest thing that comes up for me right now is just that like you are what you attract. And I think up until recently, I was wasting a lot of my own time. I was wasting others' times. People were wasting my time. Like it's like I would ghost someone would ghost me. Like it's like I'm not like I also like, you know, I've made poor decisions.
Have you ever been with a guy that really wanted to build a strong, committed relationship with you? He was really a good guy, good morals, good value. He really treated you right. Have you ever come across that guy before?
No.
Even if it's a friend.
I have.
Okay. What happened with those guys?
I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready?
No.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys find him sexually attractive?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I looked at him like a brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just like, no.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a long-term relationship with him.
With him? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. And then you never?
I'm starting from scratch right now.
Okay.
I like actually legitimately convinced myself maybe like, I don't know. It was a mess. So, and now I'm just like, I'm not on dating apps. I'm not talking to anybody. There's no roster. I am like, I fall asleep at night with my hair and like a sock and like zinc butt cream on my face to like help fix my skin barrier. Like I'm so far removed from that at this point.
Have you guys ever had like men with a big following or men who are recognized or celebrities ever hit you up in the DM?
Not really a celebrity, more like athletes.
Athletes, if athletes, That's why I brought it up. Like you have to know the difference between sexual attraction and commitment attraction.
Yeah.
And I think because of society and the dating culture we live today, everything's focused on sex. So it's good. The men who are just want casual sex, they love today's dating market. They love it.
Oh, they love it.
Because they don't have to commit to you. They don't have to make it official with you for them to get what they want. And a lot of women accept that because we don't date with intention. We don't date with purpose anymore. So that's why a lot of women like find themselves in situations where they'll be with a guy, but the guy hasn't committed to her. But that's the dating culture we live in today, which is not about building families anymore. It's about having fun, connection, and doing things. But that has nothing to do with being a family. So that's why I say, like, just be careful with just because men give you the attention, but if they haven't give you commitment yet, that's how you know long term if this guy's serious is when they give commitment, if they're willing to make the commitment with you, and that's how you know he's really serious about it. Because guys who have fun,
they'll look at you as a good time.
and then they'll find a woman he really wants to wife up and have children with and commit to her. And you just don't want to find yourself in that situation because you're wasting your majority. Like you said, 10 months. 10 months that doesn't lead to anything. That's rough.
Yeah.
That's time you never get back.
I was honestly like, I came out of that relationship and just like got like every time I have a failed situationship, I get hotter. I don't know how it happens. Like I don't know what it is, but like I know I'm about to have like another glow up. I was crying all day yesterday, and I just felt like give it 2 weeks. It's gonna be insane.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Period. Amen to that.
Okay.
Mashallah.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying, like, whatever the men who are giving you commitment attention, that's your realistic lane. That's your realistic option. And you should take it. Because especially in a world today where a lot of guys aren't being committed, if you come across a unicorn that wants to commit and wants a family, and it actually has a good job and actually has his life going together, it actually can lead, he has a future. Like, that's rare in today's society. So don't kind of put him to the side because you're waiting for Mr. 6 foot Capricorn 100K to finally realize your value. Because I'm just saying, statistically, there's not enough those guys for every woman out there. Okay. I see you, Lord Punisher. Thank you so much for all you guys. Don't forget, if you have any specific questions, any topics you want us to respond to, thank you so much. I just have 3 things I wanted to respond to for you guys. And then one of them, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think? These are the 3 things I saw that was trending online. You guys know who Olivia Copo is?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys all know her?
I don't.
Christian
Okay.
McCaffrey's wife.
Okay.
I don't.
I've seen her before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying earlier.
And she was Miss Universe. Yeah.
Okay.
She's beautiful.
She was Nick Jonas's ex-girlfriend as well. He wrote
Oh.
Jealous about her.
That's probably where I've seen her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let me just put this for everybody to see. Share screen.
Your husband is in a friend zone. Give him a shot. That's what the comment said.
So this girl right here, right? She got a lot of backlash
Why?
on Twitter, on X. A lot of women were saying that she's Miss Universe, but why is a Miss Universe wearing a very modest dress in her wedding? She should be able to show off her body because she's Miss Universe.
No.
What's your response to that? Do you think what is your response with the outrage? A lot of women were saying that's too modest in the wedding.
Yeah, it's a stunning dress.
They're just
A lot of
haters.
women hate other women because of their internalized misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's internalized misogyny.
Like the other women can have more than them and still be jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys wear this dress?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
On your wedding?
Yes.
I don't think it would look good on me as much as her, but I would wear something
Yeah,
similar.
like,
But
it just fits her so well.
yeah, I don't think I look as amazing as she
Yeah,
does. It's one of those like you know how it's like don't wear like what's that saying? Or it's the dress shouldn't wear you. You
Yeah.
should be wearing the dress. That's exactly
She is wearing
an
the
example.
dress.
Like she can do whatever she wants. It's her wedding day, but she's gorgeous. Like her makeup is so simple. It's just
I love how clean it's more expensive. I think more material equals
Elegant
more
and
expense.
very
so
elegant.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, just do whatever she wants to do on her wedding day.
I mean, everyone sees her body if she's in Miss Universe at her work. So why not on the most important day of her life? Like let her kind of have that to
Okay.
herself.
Okay.
No, she deserves it.
And she also got married in a church. So
Yeah,
she's
Catholic church.
respectful. Yeah, she's being respectful of her environment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, again, she's
No,
just gorgeous. Like, I just see her
That's
face.
different.
Honestly, I don't even look at the dress. Her face is just what you see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the dress is just
Yeah. Do you think when it comes to a wedding dress, do you think it should be whatever it's religious or not? Do you think it should be something that's very modest, respectful? Because families that come together, family members are going to be there. Do you think it? Because I have seen some wedding dresses where it's damn near like I can see everything. But my issue is like, man, everybody's there, kids are there, families there, your parents are there. Do you think there should be some kind of respect level, especially on a wedding day?
I was just gonna say, sorry. Some weddings are kid free, so just saying, like it's really up
Well,
to
your
the
parents,
bride.
old people are going to be there, yeah, and family members, your brothers and sisters, cousins are going to be there.
I mean, like, for example, like Lena the Plug and Adam Savage 22 or whatever. Is that his name? Adam Savage.
Yeah, Adam,
22.
yeah.
You don't want. That's not a good example.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
porn
no,
stars.
that's what
They're
I'm saying.
porn.
That's the
Oh,
polar
okay.
opposite.
Yeah, they're
right?
porn stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're porn stars. Okay, but I mean, when it comes to a wedding, do you think it should be just open? Just be up there and just show your whole body as a woman?
Or whatever she
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
whatever the woman. Yeah, I mean, she's paying for her wedding dress. She's paying for the wedding, or whoever's paying for the wedding, and like
Yeah.
I don't
It's her
know.
day, not the husband. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
as
her
long as they're
discretion.
both.
Yeah.
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 Okay. How are you, Jules?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you want?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I
You
mean,
know,
wear
you-
what you're comfortable in
Yeah.
and what you're confident
Right.
and
Yeah.
empowered in and what makes
Yeah.
you feel the
something that's
best.
you.
Yeah, what makes you happy. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Even if it's too revealing.
I mean, it's subjective.
Man, there was a picture on X where this guy was marrying a woman. She came out and her wedding dress was like a lingerie outfit. Do you think that's too revealing?
Are they getting eloped?
No, it's a wedding.
Like with
What was the setting of the wedding? Was it in a church, the beach?
I don't know if I don't know if it was a church or not, but it was like it was like a lingerie outfit, but it's just white. And she came out, and then the husband's face was astonished. He was like, "What is going on here?" I guess he was surprised that she came out in that dress.
I don't know. I feel like it's their life. I don't really have a comment on people.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I don't really blame the woman on that point. I think when it comes to a man, I think if the woman, I think the man, you gotta be able to communicate what you find respectful. I think that's something
Yeah.
you gotta have up front.
Yeah, I don't think his face should be that astonished. I mean, unless it was like a surprise. Did she walk down the aisle with it?
No, when she came out, she was wearing. I can't if I can
I
find
mean, he
the
could
picture.
have just been in awe,
Yeah.
but as he should be.
That's why I was wondering what the setting was or like what the context
Yeah.
of that is.
If we had more context, I think we'd be able to provide better, more fruitful comments.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should be. So you don't think there's a? I think there has to be some kind of standard, baseline standard. What's appropriate, what's not appropriate.
Because there's families.
There's family that is involved there. So for me is if the woman comes out in a very skimpy, provocative dress, for me that shows me a man that hasn't really established his boundaries when it comes to his morality or what he finds appropriate. Because if she's willing to come out like that, that means she's comfortable like that, and then she's comfortable to do that to him on the wedding day, where there's not going to be if she feels like there's not going to be any consequences to it.
You just gotta know what's appropriate and what's not
Yeah,
appropriate.
he hasn't established that because I think as women, I think for a lot of guys, and that's something that if it's we don't want you to look like just another girl on the street,
Right.
right? You don't want to. We want you to be a wife. There's a different standard when it comes to a wife, mother of my kids, and just a woman that's just another girl on the street. So there has to be a distinguishing. And then I think a lot of guys would try to find women like that, but there are a lot of guys who don't have strong boundaries, so they'll just let the woman do whatever.
Mhm.
But I put that back on the man. Like you have to
Oh yeah,
Step in.
communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also there should be like a happy medium where women can do, what are those things called? The boudoir shots.
Yes.
They do that. Brides get their portraits taken in lingerie, so they don't have to. That could be like
Yeah. And
a discussion for the men out there who are listening.
Mhm.
Boudoir shots for your
Yeah.
wife.
Let me just bring up this thing on X real quick. You guys are on X?
I have to use the restroom.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh man.
I deleted mine once it became X.
Right? I've never even used it in the first place.
I used it.
I'm like such a TikTok girl.
I had to use it when I was working in journalism because that's where we get all our news. Yeah.
And find I was trying to find bookmarks.
Just gonna go through all your DMs.
I was trying to find the bookmarks.
This interview of Jadena, I was reading the comments for that. I saw that way back when. People were like, "You're such a womanizer."
Jadena?
Yeah. I remember seeing that.
I don't
Just like
find
reading the
him-
comments.
Oh,
and being
gosh, the
"Whoa."
comment is-
I
Okay.
find him, he's like conscious now about.
Yeah, that video, he's very like conscious.
Okay. No, I can't find the.
Will's DMs are.
No, contrary to popular belief, it's not that full. Your DMs are full. I know that. Right?
Yeah, I ignore it. I like didn't talk to anyone for the last like day and a half.
No, that's the assumption for a lot of women. Most women aren't not willing to shoot their shot. There's very few women out there that will, but most women aren't willing to shoot their shot. That's why, but men, we will shoot our shot.
I shoot my shot.
Oh, so you shoot a shot?
I do.
Have you always been like that, or maybe lately?
Uh,
Have you always been the one to shoot your shot?
I actually have, yeah. I would go up to like at a bar. I would go up to a man and start talking to him. It's really easy.
Yeah.
It's just easy to talk.
Oh wait, so wait.
Like easy to talk to a guy.
Oh no, like when you shoot your shot, do you mean you just go up to him, start a conversation, but you still want him to initiate? Or,
Yeah.
Or are you the one? Hey,
It depends.
Or are you the one initiating, telling him, hey, I'm attracted to you?
It depends. Like it depends on the conversation. I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm attracted to you. Like I'm gonna, bring up the small talk. Like, hey, what'd you think about the game?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And I'm like, by the way, I think you're really attractive. Do you want my number? Or like, it's just how the conversation goes. Obviously,
Okay.
I'm not just gonna be like, if he's like, yeah, it's cool. Like, there's got to be some engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys approach men and shoot your shot?
I have, but I think like in that setting that you just described, it very much like I just give the eyes,
Yeah.
That's like the only thing I feel like because like the nonverbal, I think shot is something I'm more likely to do rather than like physically. But if like somehow we are like in a conversation, I would like read the vibe before like being like, hey.
Obviously, if he's like closed off and not really like
Yeah.
back,
I like to shoot my shot because I feel like the guys my type are like more like artistic or like respectful of women. So I'm like
you open the door.
They're a
for
little
them.
too maybe a little too maybe not a little too respectful, but you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
like I kind of have to like be like
More reserved.
Yeah, more reserved. Yeah, which is nice.
No, just be careful. I don't think I think it works better if the man shoots a shot because now you, as a woman, you generally know that he has a genuine desire for you, and then it's up to you to accept whether or not you want to take up on his offer, on his approach. But I think sometimes when you're approaching him as a woman, you don't really know if that genuine desire is there.
Yeah.
Because I think it's part of masculinity. Like if a man sees a woman he generally wants, I think if he has confidence in himself, and also he's not afraid, he should approach you and shoot your shot. But you have to be able to make yourself approachable, give him those cues, the eyes, or get closer or look his way or just smile at it. That's one thing. If you smile, a lot of women don't look at that smile. But if you're approaching him, he's like, how do you really know he generally desires you? All right. You better say something.
Knows reading the comment as they go. God.
I'm just saying that's the thing. That's the thing about the shooting a shot with guys, because when the guy approaches you, he has desire because that's why he approached you, and then it's up to you to say yes or no. Either say yes, reject us, then we move on, keep it moving. But if you initiate that part, then how do you really know that he genuinely desires it?
Because I find out when they reciprocate, just like if a man approaches me and I'm like, yes, let's like talk, let's keep talking, it's the same way. And I tend to like, I don't know, subvert gender stuff, so I like to be dominant a little bit in the like I will initiate my attraction because again I like the shy ones.
Like I would shoot my shot to like open the door, like if you want, like if you want to talk or if you want to get to know each other, the invitation's there. If not, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Move on with our lives.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, William Graves, Lord Punisher PAF. Good to see you guys have on the panel. Thank you so much. But we've come to the end on the live show. So thank you so much. Shout out to the ladies. Always good to have you guys on the panel. Thank you so much. Jules, thank you for coming back again. I think third time or fourth time right now. I think 3 or 4. I can't keep track.
Always asking me.
I always appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on the panel for the first time. I know it was a trip for you, but you made it here. Thank you so much, Sophie, for making the time to be part of the panel at the last part of it. So, we had a great conversation tonight. Should men and women prioritize relationships and marriage earlier or later? But we also talked about a lot of subtopics related to that. And make sure you guys catch the replay if you want to be on the pod. And of course, if you do want to join us virtually at the end, become a supporter member local. The link is in the description below. But I'll pass it back to you guys. We had some conversations. We agreed on some things. We kind of disagreed on some things. I want to pass it to you guys. What's your thoughts? So what's any takeaways from tonight's conversation? What did you learn from tonight's pod? What can you take away from tonight's pod? And how can they find you? How can they find you? So I'll start with you. We had some good conversation today. We had a little Capricorn, we learned about your type today. You know, Capricorn artist, 6 foot, 100K. But what's your final thoughts and how can people find you?
My final thoughts, I think, is that I don't know. I think it takes me a minute to like absorb information. So I feel like in like a day I'll be like not that I don't get it, just like I like resonate and apply. Like I think that there's a lot of really important things that were brought up that I'm gonna reflect on. And I think that is important, is reflecting on how things are. Right now, I'm definitely like a little stung by that last comment by Lord Punisher. He was like, men don't have situationships, we're just smashing. Yeah.
The reason why men don't have situationships is because we are the ones who determine if it's committed or not. Usually, because you're waiting for us to say, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Yeah.
A lot of guys are not upfront about that these days.
Yeah. But that's why I said that's the difference between how you can distinguish the players and the guys who want something long term is they provide clarity. Either if they're not providing clarity and they try to keep it vague, or they get defensive when you ask them about clarity, about your intentions, you know, to try to gaslight you, try to push it back on you.
Oh yeah.
Avoidant attachment.
Avoiding it. That's how you know, like, okay, you're wasting my time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, and then my social.
How can they find you?
My Instagram is synaptic glories, like synapses in your brain.
Yep.
In morning glories. So. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being part of the pod. I'll pass it to you, Sophie. Thank you for making it at the end.
Yeah.
You know, how can they find you? What is your final thoughts?
My final thought, I definitely will sit with that about like what your dating pool is actually the people who are like down to commit with you, because I do think that like that's so real. Like there's a difference between, especially like we have to filter a lot of the attraction pool that we have. So I'm gonna sit with that, and also just what we attract, what we deserve. Like I'm definitely gonna be sitting with that. And my name is Sophie. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Thiz, as in like the bay where we are right now. Dissociating.
Yeah, the one thing we almost got into it because when you said women can be a 3, but men can't be. men can be a 3, but women can't be. Come on. Let's be realistic. There's some attraction spectrum goes for both. There's some. We have to be honest.
Maybe and I'm really sorry to say this, but like burn victims, perhaps. Because they cover their face.
No, that's common sense.
I just think women, like, I'm just being honest. Like, they're just more beautiful. Where we start already kind of like, we have a head start on the beauty scale, as you know, right? Like you would agree.
Yeah, but like I'm not being mean. I'm just saying for both men and women, there are ugly men out there. There are ugly women out there. There are attractive women out there.
Yeah. Attraction is subjective.
You don't think it's objective?
No.
You don't think?
It depends on your preference.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's
and my preference is women.
Yeah, I think visual attraction is objective. But what most people universally as society find attractive.
Yeah, but for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't compare. Like, I mean, I have a lot of friends who are all attracted to different types of men. Like,
I know so many like things that I would consider 9s dating like 2.
Yeah.
You know who Michael Blackson is?
Yes.
You know who Michael Blackson is?
I think so. Michael Blackson?
Yes. He's fried.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that. All I know is Cat Williams.
Jesus.
Don't like him.
Yeah.
Do you think majority of women will find him attractive or ugly?
Ugly.
Yeah, majority of women will find him ugly.
I'm nice. I don't want to say anything.
I find it.
Yes, but He's ugly.
Okay, but
Not my
there's
type.
women that like really ugly men. Like there's
Yeah.
that one podcast. Oh, I have to I know I listen to their podcast, but it's this Asian guy. He's a comedian. He
Yeah.
said he's very out there and does crazy shit. Bobby,
Yeah.
that's his name. And his
Yeah.
girlfriend that they have, she's Hawaiian, gorgeous woman. And it's Bobby talks about how small his dick is on his podcast all the time.
Yeah.
It's just why were they together for so long? So it happens.
No,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is we have to be realistic of
Yeah.
who we are and how attractive we are. And like I said, there are ugly people out there. There are ugly, beautiful people out there. We all have families. I'm sure we have family members damn, we all know we roast every family reunion, how ugly they are. That's just being family. But what I'm saying is people have to be honest, so that way you can be realistic of what you can attract. Because if I have friends who are Michael Blackson, but I tell them every single day, you look like Brad Pitt, even though he looks like Michael Blackson, you're doing that person a disservice
Oh yeah.
for not being honest with them.
I mean, yeah.
So we have to be.
And you can that
yeah.
can happen too.
I'm not saying that they
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, that
I'm
can
not
be
saying that
true.
they can't find attractive.
Yeah,
They can't
right.
find a partner. There's always somebody out there. But if we're not gonna give them the honest truth, then when they go out there to the real world,
They're gonna
get hurt, and and real life is gonna let them know what it really is and what the truth is. So that's what I'm saying. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sophie. Pass it to you. Thank you so much for making the time. What's your final thoughts? How can they find you?
My final thoughts. I learned what a cahoodleship and a situationship was today.
I know I never heard that before.
Yeah, I guess my age is showing. You can find me on Instagram at Lazelle _D LIEZEL_D.
All right, thank you so much. You were talking about Bobby Lee. Is that
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like you guys know who Bobby Lee is? Bobby Lee, know who Bobby Lee is?
Mhm.
We can all agree that university most women won't find him attractive. Yeah, that's true. You don't want to know.
And
who
if
Bobby
he
Lee
really
is.
have a micro penis,
Okay.
that's even Jesus.
All right. And I'll pass it to you, Jules. Final thoughts. How can they find you?
Final thoughts. Just keep your options open. Just let it play its course. And you can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram is talentedjules_24.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Jules.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to add something that you said earlier before, because I know you brought up the leave it up to God and faith. All right. I do agree with that, but I think what needs to be added to that is you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Faith works. Faith, you can't. Faith is not enough alone.
Yeah.
To get
You
what
gotta
you
put in the
want
legwork.
in life,
Mhm.
right? Because I do hear that from a lot of women and men as well. I'll leave it up to God. I'll leave it on my faith, but they absolutely make no better decisions. They don't make any changes, or they don't do the work to get what they want. So I think
Mhm.
faith works, because faith is not a strategy. I can want a faith. I can believe in something, but if you're not doing the work to combine it with the faith, that's not going to make it. So I've heard that multiple times, and from men as well. I'll leave it up to God. It's like, oh, God,
You have to work on
you have to,
yourself.
yeah. Like God's not going to fix your life for you.
And sometimes it gets challenging, gets
Yeah.
hard.
Mm.
You get discouraged,
Yeah.
but you have to
Faith
walk
is
it out. Mhm.
faith is good to keep you optimistic, to keep moving forward.
Mhm.
But to move forward, you have to make steps.
Mhm.
You can't just look at the horizon. I just hope I get there. No, the way you get to the horizon
Right.
is you got to
Push yourself.
move forward and make steps.
Because I
So-
feel like a lot of women are on survival mode.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah.
But thank you so much, Congo English. Thank you so much for watching. I see you guys came at the end. A lot of you guys were watching on the pod and other platforms. Thank you so much. I've been waiting for God to send me along to my doorstep.
Oh my God.
But I appreciate you guys. We do this every
I'm
single
still waiting.
every single Saturday, every single weekend. So thank you so much. Please support these ladies. We do this every single Saturday. If you're from the Bay Area, you want to be part of the pod, reach out to me on my social media platforms, and we can be able to connect and send you an invite. But I'll see you guys next time. New panel, new topic. I do appreciate you guys. Some of you guys watching the entire stream, so thank you so much for the support. But you guys all have a great night. Peace, y'all.
Alright.
Peace.
Bye.